What's up, guys?
Welcome
Welcome back.
back.
We have a very special guest. Um, well, I we were at his sister's wedding. Oh, I was at his sister's wedding not too long ago, and I bombarded him at the bar. I was like, "Jax, you gotta come on." So please welcome Jax Reyes.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you for having me both.
You know-
Thanks for
Salamat.
joining.
Of course.
You know,
Nako.
we always say like this podcast, like you're not really gonna learn stuff, but like once in a while you will. But now, guys, it's time
Ito
to
na.
learn.
This is
Welcome to
educational.
class.
Okay.
And you know,
Perfect.
and you know what? Like, I really only follow fashion people, but I really love your content because you know what? Your content is so relatable. Like, my goal this year is to be relatable. I don't think I can ever be as relatable
No,
as
but like
you.
I always end up watching it. As in, like even when I'm like not, like I'm only half awake, but then when I say, I'm like, oh my gosh, I finished the whole video.
Oh, thank you
Always.
guys. Salamat naman.
And we were like, I was talking about all my problems before Gabby like arrived to Jax, and he was like, "Oh, like girl BPI, blank, like all these things." I'm like, "Fuck, I'm already learning, and we haven't even started the podcast."
That's the goal. That's the goal talaga. To help more people, diba? At least.
But yeah, if you guys don't know, this is Jax Reyes' younger brother.
Magalit si Jazz.
younger
Nagkakali,
brother. But I've luckily met all three siblings, and you guys are literally all the same. Like I was with your sister in
Really?
JP
Okay.
in Paris the last time I was there, and I was like, oh my god, you guys are all same but different.
Oh
But
my
I
gosh,
love
but you know,
it.
I was like shocked
Oh,
when I
sige.
found out you guys were siblings.
Why? Sige nga,
I
why?
don't know. I don't
No,
know.
yeah.
Like just one time, like you guys had a video, and I was like, wait, what? Like Jackson,
No,
Jasmine.
I found out. I
siblings?
think there was a Gcash event, the one with Heart, and then
Yes.
because I already knew. I think we were sitting next to each other. Jazz was in the back. She was like in the bleachers, and she goes, "That's my brother." I'm like, "What?" And you all do content. I'm like, "That's so funny," but
I mean,
it makes
I was like
sense.
surprised, but at the same time, like when you guys started like interacting together, I was like, okay, now I can see it.
Yes.
Even
pag
like the way you
nag-interact na.
talked and all that, I was like, okay,
Okay.
I kind of see it now.
But like, we always ask our guests, like, okay, like, describe like
Sige.
what do you do? Because I think a lot of
Okay.
people wear many hats, you know, like you
Okay.
can't like also nowadays it's like 2025 if you're just like, oh, I'm just an influencer, like people judge. The internet is like a cruel place. But what would you say, like how would you describe like what you
What-
do? What are the
Okay.
different hats that you like
My gosh, sige. Ano to?
wear?
I'll bore you with the history.
No,
No,
like,
we
we
want to
need-
hear
sige,
the
okay.
history.
No, we need people to
We need
like
history.
we need them to learn something.
Yeah.
Sige,
People are
sige.
getting
Okay,
over
game.
our
Sige.
bullshit.
For sure.
The internet is over it. Like we need
Sige, let's go.
Something.
Let's start with the beginning. To start off, Jazz actually was siya talaga nag-start with content creation. She was always in media.
yeah.
Diba? She was a junior jock. And then she did all the Instagram thing when Instagram was
Right.
still starting. And she's very artistic. Ako, I'm very corporate. Talaga, I was built for corporate. So I was in
Okay.
telco
And you know
for...
what?
Yeah.
No one's like I've never heard. At least all
Mhm.
my friends say that.
Mhm.
So it's nice that I have like guys have one corporate friend.
Yes, okay, finally, okay. No, so I was built in corporate, and when I was still studying, sabi ko, okay, I wanted to be in corporate because parang I like the structure.
Okay.
Di ba yung parang, oh, I need to go to the office. Alam mo yung parang my dream was like
Right.
those, my gosh,
Like a
parang
little
Miranda
New-
Priestley
I was
level.
gonna say,
Ganun,
like, a
di ba?
little New
Di
York
ba? Yung
situation.
ganon.
Like you open up your closet, like it's all just suits, and you're like,
Yes.
what suit
Like
am
a
I gonna wear
boardroom
today?
Wala nga
Daddy.
akong suit, it's all black lang.
And then you're like hailing a cab,
Oh,
like
yes. Or you're
in your
driving,
suit.
di ba? But it was a hard, hindi mo hard. Siyempre, when you started, everything you do, you start from the pinaka-bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What people don't know, di ba? And I'm not a morning person now, but back then talagang, girl, nagising ako 6 a.m., 5
That's where the
a.m.
Oh my
influencer
Yes,
gosh.
talaga.
like, affected you because
Kasi
same before
5
I could wake up.
a.m., 5 and 6,
Really?
because I need to go to BGC to fight for parking.
Oh my God,
Kasi
parking is the
Parking
worst.
is the worst. Di ba? You need to fight for parking na 7 a.m. Kasi pagdating ng 7:31, puno na yan. And then you want to find the cheapest parking.
Right.
And like you
In
don't want to walk a
BGC.
lot, and you
And
want
you
to be
don't-
as close
as
as
close.
possible.
Pero we're okay even if it's a bit far. Basta mura yung parking.
Yeah.
Because BGC parking right
I
now
know,
for the
and you're
whole
gonna
day is
park
like
the whole
500 eh.
day.
Diba? 500 pesos yan. It's like 40 peso per hour. Yeah, girl. So talagang, okay, I need to go and park for 150 kasi 150 is reasonable na back then
Yeah.
for me. Diba? So now, and then my goal back then nga was just to,
Climb
get
up
promoted
Climb up the ladder.
to get a parking. To get a
Yeah, so
parking,
you have a
girl.
slot.
It's not even like...
Hindi
not
talaga.
even like, I
It's
wanna
like,
be
I just
alone.
don't
ang
want to pay the
babaw.
500.
Like,
Yes!
give me parking.
Give me parking. And the parking there was not pa ha. The parking there, hindi pa siya free. You'll pay for it every
Oh,
month,
but at least
3,000
it's just like you
pesos.
have a slot.
At least you have
Oh
a
my
slot.
God.
Is your name on the park?
Hindi rin.
No.
Like, you know,
It's
like,
like
did
the
you ever see that
companies.
Kylie Jenner video of like Chris, like in her
Chris
office?
parking in her
in her
slot.
slot.
Thing,
Her
and then
slot,
she like
correct.
moved the car. She's like, "This is my
Yes.
slot."
But back then, it was not like that pa. It was like an open area where the sun is hot.
Oh
Pero
my gosh.
sabi ko, I'll take it. Sabi ko,
Yeah.
3,000 pesos is better
Imagine
than...
you're like on
150
the second
peso
floor,
din.
like of the parks, looking down, like look at those losers.
Girl, no, nako, alam mo ba? Then the next goal was to get a parking inside the building naman. Pero it's at the pinaka
Like basement.
basement.
Oh my god, this is like Marge's
Diba?
fridge. So we had another guest,
Uh-huh.
Marge, on.
Okay.
And she had the exact same, because we asked the same question, and she had the exact same story. But hers was like, you know, with like beauty brands, they'll sometimes send you a fridge.
Yeah.
And then her fridge still got bigger and bigger.
No, she
Oh,
got like
diba?
one product and everyone else got fridges.
Fridges, and then she finally
she's
got
like,
the
one
fridge.
day I want to get a fridge. And she did.
As in like that on TikTok, it has like 400,000. Everyone's like, oh, she finally got the fridge. She finally
Kasi
got the fridge."
naman, di ba, you want
No.
that fridge.
Yeah.
Because you know,
that's a goal, no?
sometimes it's the
Everyone
little
has a
things
fridge.
Like that.
Correct.
You're like, I just want the parking slot. Like life will be
Correct.
a lot easier.
Exactly.
And that started like the measure of success.
Babaw,
you know?
diba? It's so
Yeah.
babaw. Parang sabi ko, diba you want to get promoted for like maybe a car plan? But sabi ko, oh my gosh, no, gusto ko talaga
No,
ng
but
parking.
if you get parking, you won't have to wake up as early.
Exactly. Yon.
That's the
So
ultimate luxury.
So that's why I woke up around 8 na. Tapos nung they adjusted time, sabi nila, oh, it can be here by 9:30. Latest
And then they're
9:45.
like, you can just
Okay.
come in whenever you want.
Yeah.
Ay, wala pa yun. I
The
didn't reach
flexi
that point.
time.
I
That's
didn't
what-
reach that
flexi
point yet.
time.
Oo. But, so, yes, corporate. And then I was always back end. So being in front of a camera, it was kind of weird for me at first. Kasi sabi ko, oh my gosh. So can I do this? And then, the pandemic happened. So I think everyone started, a lot of content creators started in the pandemic.
That's how Gabbie started also.
Yeah.
Diba? Kasi we were kind of bored at home.
Right.
Diba? And ako naman parang sabi ko, oh, I want to talk about credit card slang. Because if you ask my friends, they would know me for someone na, oh my God, I would line up. Oh my gosh, I don't know kung naabutan nyo to. Back then, there was like Zomato. Na,
I know, like,
I didn't know
Zomato
Zomato.
Gold
You know,
and stuff.
yes.
Yeah.
Yon. So if you have Zomato Gold, 99 pesos siya or
Wait.
199, then you get 50% off.
Yeah.
Did Zomato close down during the pandemic?
I think they did. Or,
Was it during the
or they
pandemic?
took away the Zomato Gold for
They
a
took out the
time.
Zomato Gold first and then they closed everything down.
It
And then
might
I
have not been
remember
for the
like
gold, but it was
restaurants would
for,
have the loophole from
Correct.
the Zomato Gold for a
Correct.
time. Like it wasn't a
Exactly.
sulit anymore for a
Correct.
time.
Pero back then it was so sulit. So, I was still in
Yeah.
corporate. This was 2019 ata to eh. So sabi ko, oh my gosh, pipila tayo for our lunch dito sa, I remember the restaurant, Sunny's Cafe, kasi 50% off. If hindi, we're gonna pay.
I love Sunny's Cafe.
Diba? So, that's why I said, okay.
Ahead of its time.
Diba? Cute naman, cute
George.
talaga siya, diba? And so, oh my God, 50% off, diba? But you have to line up. Then there's like Sangyup pa, 50% off. I'm like, girl, I'm going to pay for this. Talaga, I'm going to
Yeah.
go with Zomato Gold. And then, diba, my friends were all like getting mad. Na parang, ano ba yan? Pipila pa tayo dito? Kasi diba that was long.
It's like, we're not letting him pick the restaurant. 'Cause it's always going to be the one with the most
Yes,
sulit
with the
deal.
50%. And then, I do love to talk about credit cards. Parang sabi ko, oh my God, you can get these points.
So you're really always just interested in it.
Yes, I was always interested
But
in
how
it.
do you find like...
All the deals.
Because
Wow.
now we have
Okay.
someone like you, right? Who sort of just like...
Yeah, sharing the deals.
Read talaga. I look
I
at
don't
my
read.
email.
Some people don't leave the,
I
read the
agree.
fine print talaga.
Or not even, parang I know that we all hate the SMS, the Viber, the
Oh my
emails.
God.
I know.
That's how you get to know it
Muted.
talaga.
That's
eh.
true. Now from time to time, like sometimes like I see it in my notifications and I was like, oh wait, a deal for like this
Ah,
pala. But
correct.
then when I
Yes.
open it, oh I got so many na that I
Yes.
wasn't reading.
But do you find that like... Well, obviously now that you have like ads and things like... So you're also told like information beforehand. But do you still like... Part of your content, is a lot of it still doing that research? Like do you still like...
Even if I get
Diba?
told na parang, to be honest brands do not that, apparently even the banks that I work with, they don't usually tell me in advance.
Oh,
Parang
really?
wala. So sometimes I just
That's
find that
still-
out na parang, okay, there is. Rarely do they tell you na parang, oh, in advance we will have this. Kasi they don't want
Baka
to
they don't
preempt
know
rin
either.
eh. And then they don't want to preempt
Yeah.
them.
Right.
So parang, okay, then I just wait for it to come out and then I
They
still
do
take
it
some
after.
time to research every single day and just read, go through my email. Na parang, okay.
God, I need to
Girl,
start
mahirap-
reading, guys.
It's so annoying talaga.
But-
Even back then, parang sabi ko, oh my gosh, nakakainis naman to. We have to keep on reading.
Yeah.
Diba? But it's part of it. Parang for me, it's still part of it to get to know the
like
promos.
what do? I like scroll on Instagram
Yeah,
and TikTok, and I'm like, what trend do I want to do? Like, it's the same thing.
correct.
And I think like I feel like I'm more visual, so I'm like, okay, I'll look at like photos and like cute, hot people, and you're more like, let's read.
For me, it's not
Like, if
naman
I
yung
see-
read. Oo.
More than one paragraph, like in
Ayaw mo na. It's, kaya nga parang whenever I do these promos, I like it pag 50 off. For me, that's sulit.
like if
Yeah.
it's something like worth it.
Kasi pag, if it's like 20%, 30%, for me, it's not bad. It's just not the best.
Yeah.
Alam mo yun?
So you're still very selective, naman.
I'm very selective. So when I read, it has, and when I look for promos, it still has to be something very beneficial for the
Right.
Because sometimes I
Filipino.
feel like it's a scam. They're like, oh, like it's blank off, but then they just raise the prices and then
Correct.
like lower.
Yeah,
you
they
know?
do that sometimes.
Eto, pwedeng hindi i-bleep out to. Like, kaya nga whenever di ba I always put a disclaimer na you always have to still compare. For example, some promos I don't really like is yung mga hotels. I know I love you guys, I love you hotels, but sometimes kasi, di ba, they have the published rate.
Yes.
And some people might feel na parang, oh, I can get this for cheap kasi the published rate, let's just say, is 10,000. And if you use this
Starting at-
credit card,
yeah.
you get, let's say, 50%, 5,000
Mhm.
pesos. But sometimes when you book with, let's say, booking
Agoda.
sites, di ba? You can get it for that price. It's just that, di ba, it's a different way of just like publishing different types of promo. Let's say, sabihin mo, di
Because
ba?
like they have to, like people have to make money. So it's
I
not
get it.
like people are just nothing in life is free. My mom, that's
Correct.
the one thing she really taught me.
Correct.
Like no one's just gonna give you a handout.
Exactly.
They need to benefit
Correct.
somehow. So like it's just different ways of
Di ba?
Re-
They're like
Rewording
repackaging it.
Yeah.
It's like when I can't come up with a caption, so I chat GPT the deck of like what
Yeah.
to tell. It's the
Exactly,
same
the
shit,
same-
you know.
Same
So they're
thing,
just
correct.
finding creative ways. And what I like is not only are you promoting things, but you're also sort of, I think, promoting like a different mindset, right? So
Yeah,
it's not
thank
just
you.
about, oh, these are the different.
Yeah,
like,
not just a specific promo, but it's
you're
also
teaching people
yeah.
how to think.
Yes.
You know, because I think especially now, wow, deep, but like as like the economy is growing here, like
Uh-huh.
the Philippines is a booming market. People now
Yeah.
have money to spend.
Exactly.
But people don't know yet how to
How to-
properly
yes.
spend. You know, and
Okay.
so I think changing their mindset is also so important because you can't just like rely on certain promos because that doesn't apply to everyone.
Correct.
You know, like some people aren't gonna book a hotel, some people aren't traveling. So like
Yeah.
at least ingraining in them like, okay,
Out.
compare, like don't just fall for things like, you know.
Exactly.
Also early on in your
Oo.
like content, I remember
Sige.
because I followed you like during the
Oh, yeah.
pandemic. Like it's been a
Sige,
while. I remember like the early comments, people would be like, "Oh wait, like they love watching your videos because before like they just always think of credit cards as like a bad thing." So I love that you're sort of like
Okay.
changing that
Demystifying
stigma and like now
Okay.
like more people know how to like take advantage of their credit
Guys,
card.
he's the ambassador for credit
No,
cards
no.
in general.
No
He's just the
naman.
face.
No.
You know, in the States, you can print like on your own
Ano?
credit cards like different
Yes.
things. They
Yeah.
should just print your face. So
Face.
before they swipe, they're like, "Let me
They
look
remember
at Jax's content."
Yeah, no, when I see
Fuck it, they don't
Jax's face, it's
overspend.
like Jax is asking me like, "Are you sure
Oo.
this purchase?"
No. That's a nice point nga, Gabi. Parang why I started it all, Ren, going back to that topic, it's because, I don't know, I'm not sure if you were growing up, you would always hear people say na, uy, credit card masama siya because mababaon ka
Yeah.
sa utang, di ba? And for me, di ba, the main point of why I really wanted to create it, it's to also demystify na parang, wait, it's not bad eh. I think it's the way you use it lang. The problem
That's
with,
why-
di ba?
My
No.
parents like took away my credit.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, sorry.
Because I think
Yeah.
maybe, Liam, maybe back then you were thinking of it na, oh, so I have this
It's
limit.
emergency
Diba?
like purposes.
Or emergency purposes, they
Me
would
going
usually...
to Earth Cafe, like getting
diba?
my boba.
See? But, di ba, people would always say, what I feel kasi, people would always think na, oh, I have a credit limit here. Let's say you have 100,000
Yeah.
credit limit.
Yeah.
People would just keep on spending mindlessly.
Yes.
Di ba? Kasi feeling mo, oh, you have that money.
Target.
Yeah.
Di ba? No, maybe, di ba? That happens
No, yeah.
eh.
Well, I was also like not. I was a lot dumber. Like
Correct.
6, 7
'Cause
years
you
ago,
wouldn't-
you know.
You wouldn't feel na, okay, you're losing that money.
Yeah.
You just feel na, okay, I have it. Nandyan siya.
Because it's not going out of your account.
Exactly.
So you're like, it's a lot easier to spend.
Correct. It
That's why
is.
Gcash sometimes is scary because it's like,
You
oh, the
can see
money's
it, eh.
technically like, I can just spend it because it's
It's
not
like
in
digital.
my account.
Correct.
Right?
Diba? That's why I always say, pag ganito lang siya, every time you want to buy something, always ask yourself, budgeted ba siya? Is
Oh my
it
God,
budgeted?
that's your line.
It's my
that's
line,
always
diba?
your
It's
line.
always
my
you know
line.
what?
You
Ever
have a
since I watch your
tagline.
video, every
Oo.
time I buy now, I'm always like,
Is it
okay, do I have
budgeted?
the times? Do
Correct,
I always
diba?
say
Or the
that?
times 10,
You have the
yes.
times
Oh
10.
my
Is it budgeted or is it times 10? But the
Yeah.
times 10, I always put a caveat there. It's for your wants.
Yes.
Diba? Hindi naman siya like, oh, you want to eat. Syempre naman you're not gonna eat
Yeah.
in the fine dining naman, diba? But no, if it's something that you need, pwede naman hindi times 10.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
really more of like, oh,
You have this right
I want
now.
this new bag.
Yeah.
Diba? Do you
God,
have
I'm
the
learning
times
so
10?
much,
Yeah.
guys.
Diba?
See, you're welcome.
Diba?
Like
Kasi
we
if you have
got
the
someone
times 10,
smart.
Grabe. Diba? If you have the
Yeah.
times 10 of it, at least you're sure that, you know, for the next month, you still have
You're
something.
covered.
You're
You're
covered
fine.
then, diba?
Mhm.
Kasi it's a want eh. No, I mean, I've been there. Kasi sabi ko nga sa kanila, guys, I'm way much older sa kanila. So I've been through all of
But
those
no age
things.
reveal.
First of all, I look twice as
No
old.
naman.
My white jeans are not benefiting me right now. Wait, give me 5 years, girl.
Okay.
I'm gonna look 50.
No naman.
White
Don't
people
say
age.
it. Yes, but there's science. Charot. Diba, there's science. But, diba, I was lost na. Nadwala ako. But, diba, it's always
Yeah.
like, is it budgeted? Because, diba, you have to ask yourself, okay, do you have the money for it? For that item? Kasi diba, I've been there, done that. Back then, when I was younger, syempre, I'm a bag hag kasi talaga. I love bags.
The
As
bag.
in, sobrang I love bags talaga. I don't need to buy shoes. I don't need to buy clothes. But bag is
Bags
my
are-
weakness
yes.
talaga. As in. Ayun, so...
But you know what? That's still okay. You know,
It's still
Yeah.
okay.
like
I know, and I wanted to ask you that, like,
Oo.
what's your, like, weakness na splurge? So you just
Ay.
answered that it's bags.
Pero now, as I kind of grow older, paminsan I think na. Di ba I think twice na?
Yeah.
But later we'll go to the bag stuff. Later we'll go to the bag stuff, friend.
Yay.
But diba, that's why it's always like, budgeted pa muna siya, then you swipe it. The pitfall, kasi usually when you have a credit card is, especially installments. I'm
Oh
sure.
my gosh, I wanted to ask about installments.
Diba?
Installments
Diba,
are like,
installments? Kasi installments
I
is
love
a-
installments.
I love installments.
Actually.
Personally,
Sometimes I
love.
don't feel it now when I'm doing
you
installments.
know, and sometimes I like keep forgetting I still have installments,
Exactly.
and then I'm like,
And then you'll get shocked na
and I'm
lang,
like,
bill
what
shock
the
na.
fuck? Like what?
You're
Like,
still paying for
what did I
this.
spend
Yeah.
on?
Kasi
Because at least
And
on
it
my
eats up your
app,
like limit also.
Exactly.
You're like, why don't I have limit
And
na?
so
Like,
on
why
my
put it
app,
on installment?
it doesn't say parang like what each thing
Item
is for
is,
some
yeah.
reason. So I'm like, what the fuck? Like is
Diba?
someone like hijacking my account?
You
And I
only see it
forget
in the
that I'm,
statement na eh.
Like, yeah, only on the statement, and I forget. I'm
Correct.
like,
But
I'm still paying.
going
off
to
that.
installment, I super love installment then.
Yeah.
Kasi if it's
If it's like 0%.
0%, plus if you don't have, the challenge is here eh. When you buy in some shops, kasi diba, let's say an appliance.
Yes.
Yeah.
Diba? When you buy an appliance, when you go to the shop, sabi mo, oh, pwede mang 0% installment. Sabi nila, yes,
Mhm.
pero it's a installment price.
Oh
Diba
yeah,
they
it's
have
not
that?
the
Diba?
same.
It's not the
It's not
Like there's
same.
like a different as like a cash
Correct,
price.
with the cash
Yeah.
price. It's different when you're buying luxury. Oh my God, ang pangit na example ko, pero yes, this is the
Yeah.
example, di ba? Kasi when you go to an SSI shop, di ba, when you say, oh, pwede ba i-installment to? If it's like a 50K shoe,
Yeah.
di ba, 50K pa rin siya. Cash or installment, di ba?
Mhm.
When you say, oh, can I pay in cash? It's the same price. Pero kung in-installment mo, it's still 50K divided by 12.
Yes.
So that
Kaya for
girl
me,
math.
for me, yon sulit
Yeah,
siya.
yeah.
Kasi di ba, you don't have an additional amount or the
Yeah.
price is not the same. It's different.
If the price is
It's the
different,
same.
it's kind of like you paid for like it's not 0% now
Correct.
also.
Yes. Kasi nga, di ba, that's the thing. Kaya nga sabi ko, when you're buying with cash price or installment price, if mas mura yung cash price, if kaya mo naman i-cash,
Just
i-cash
cash
mo
it,
na lang
yeah.
siya or straight
Yeah.
payment. 'Di ba? Like straight swipe. Wag mo na siya ipa-installment kasi sayang yung
Yeah.
ano eh. But if you're buying the other item, 'di ba, let's say yung mga wala. Let's say perfect example, IKEA, 'di ba?
Yeah.
IKEA. When you buy things there, kahit installment mo, cash price, it's the same.
Yes.
'Di ba? Yun,
So it's
go,
sulit.
installment mo. But when it comes to installment, you also have to ask, again, the whole amount, do you have the money for it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Kasi 'di ba, a lot of people
Yeah.
might say na, oh, kaya ko to kasi 500 a month na lang siya or 1,000
Yeah, but
a
then you're
month.
you don't
spending
have
other
that
things
right
at next
now,
month.
yeah.
You might
Yes.
not have that money.
Not only that, the next time you do an installment, you'll also want to installment again.
Yes.
'Di ba? So installment adds up, guys, ha. Hindi siya yung parang feeling mo I have 1,000 this month. Nag-installment ka na naman.
It
Hindi
almost gets
2,000.
addicting because
It's addicting
it's like, oh, I'm
talaga.
getting all these things for cheaper.
Yeah,
but
it feels like cheaper,
technically
but
but you're
might
keeping
not
it for a
necessarily-
longer
yes.
time.
And again, guys, nothing in life is free.
Nothing in life
like
is
it's
free
not.
talaga. Exactly.
If there's a promo, whoever's doing the promo is definitely benefiting from it
Correct.
somehow.
Kasi
Because
you
there's
want to
no way they're
spend
just
it.
gonna be like, oh, you
Correct.
deserve a discount. You know, that
Correct.
doesn't make sense.
For me personally, ito lang siya ha. The installment schemes out there, it's either, di ba the bank wants you to keep on doing installment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you keep doing installment and you're not able to pay, di ba, you miss a payment, di ba? Or, di ba the interest is always
yeah.
3% of the total
The
amount.
actual
ha,
credit card
di ba?
interest is
So, mahal
higher
talaga.
if you
So,
don't pay.
that's how, again, that's how the banks earn. We're not fighting the banks. But syempre, they're a business. But that's how they earn. For us, feeling natin, oh, kikita ba sila? Guys, every time we swipe, they earn. Period.
Yeah.
Di ba they have the nerdy stuff na to? Parang they have the merchant fee. Every time you swipe, they earn 1 to 2% of
Yeah,
the
and that's
whole
why
amount.
some businesses
Yeah.
don't like.
That's why some businesses don't
Cards
like
and
credit
stuff.
cards.
I
Diba?
get it.
But
Oh my
you use a
gosh.
credit card for the points, diba? To fly for free.
Yes.
to get
No, and
cash
I
back,
think that is
diba?
actually the content I
That's
think
so
for me that I
fun.
really love the most. And I think because now I feel like you're becoming also almost like a lifestyle creator, you know, because everything, like all the credit cards and all that, it all relates to life in general. So I
Yeah.
like that you're
Exactly.
also pivoting a little.
Yeah, like you show like
And
I'm
traveling.
seeing,
Oh,
like you're
oh.
working with Clock and like you're
Correct,
able to
thank
like
you.
fly more. And so that is nice because
Okay.
as you sort of expand, I think, with your content, more people can relate.
Correct.
You know,
Thank
'cause
you. Okay.
Some people don't like want more specific things like, oh, how do I get like a cheaper airfare, or like how do I,
Yes.
you know, rather than just like credit card,
Correct.
things like that, because
Yes.
it's intimidating, you
Oo
know.
naman, yes.
And I know
agree.
a lot of people in the Philippines also don't have a credit card,
Correct.
you know, and people rely on cash. So it's nice that you're sort of like
Exactly.
you're part of the movement, girl.
Kaya nga parang now, di ba, it's
Yeah.
going to more. That's why when I saw, as I progress, I felt kasi na parang, oh, hindi na siya pwede all credit card because you have to start somewhere. And the thing there is, for us Filipinos, guilty ako, we always want the best right away. Di ba parang, oh, I want the top tier credit cards right away. But guys, I started from the rock bottom. Nag-apply ako sa branch. So,
Yeah.
back then in my days, branch pa. I had to go to the branch, fill out the forms, open a bank account.
Mhm.
I think your era kasi was like more of the digital is
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, so you
But
can
I
sort
still
of
go
just-
to my bank.
I go to my bank pa rin naman, yes. But
It's
di ba when
like-
you open,
because I have like a girly, I'm like it's sort of like fun.
It's
like
fun.
it's like ooh, I'm like adulting. Like
Yes.
I don't have that
Yeah.
many errands to do, but I'm like I'm going to the bank, bitch.
Correct,
Like no one
diba?
bother me for 1 hour.
and there's like more digital banks now, which kaya parang, that's why I slowly pivoted rin. Kasi sabi ko, ang daming new products here, especially like savings account, di ba? We always think that, you know, the branch, the traditional banks are the best. Pero to be honest, why don't you go with a digital bank with high interest? Kasi your money can grow there
Yeah.
rather than just being in a traditional bank na, okay, ang baba ng interest. Sayang yung money natin. That's why I said, pivoting slowly na parang, dapat we go with like, where our money can work harder for us. Because, again, guys, di ba? Life's hard. Charot. Di ba? In the
Yeah.
Philippines, life is
Oh
really
my
hard.
god, Lydia,
eh.
I was talking to Jax about like the 30 problems that I have.
Di ba?
And he was like, this happened this week. I was like, girl, in the last 2 days. Like life is hard.
Life is hard eh.
And I don't know, I just love that, you know, with your content, it's very serious, but
Mhm.
also you sort of make it a little lighthearted. Like you're still you're very positive, and I think that's what you and Jazz sort of have
Oh,
in common.
thanks.
You know,
Oh.
like yes, you're talking about banking stuff, but like it's very inspirational. It's very just like fun. You know,
Correct.
you
Yeah.
make serious topics like a little more.
I think because you
Fun.
guys are also funny
I
naturally.
think.
Yeah.
So there's that like
Fairness, even JP
entertaining
is super funny.
aspect and like your
Like
content.
all three of you
Oh,
are
thank
really like
you.
you guys crack me up. Like when the three of you are together, it's like very
Iba.
intense.
It's like
It's
intense.
very intense, but it's so fun. But I think because we talk a lot about like influencers, influencing in general. Do you think there's like a method to your success online? Like, do you have some sort of strategy?
Oh,
And
okay.
so it can sort of be applied to just people that want to be influencers in
Okay.
general. Because I think I'm sure you've tried certain formats, it didn't work. Like, what was sort of like, how did you get to where you are today? Because people don't
Okay,
realize that
nice.
there is strategy involved. Like, it's still a business.
Correct.
You know, it's not that, oh, I started posting and then, like, none of us are like Nepo babies.
Okay,
like, we
yes.
don't just have the
Correct,
following.
correct,
right?
correct.
So you definitely built something over time, and there's definitely probably a
Oh,
way
okay.
that you
Do it, no? O sige.
did that. You
For
know?
me,
I'm
it
also
was-
learning because I just like post wala lang thinking I'm a
No.
Nepo baby.
it
So I
started.
also want to know.
It started very slow for me, and a lot of people might not know. My first platform was actually YouTube.
Really?
Oh, diba? Hindi
But
alam
no,
yan.
Oh
but
my
were you still
gosh.
doing the same type of content? naman?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my
It is,
gosh.
diba? That was the first content. YouTube talaga. Because
Is
I
it?
said,
Are the videos still up?
it's still
Oh
up.
my
I
God.
still post on YouTube.
No way.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Kasi
Wait,
parang
I'm gonna
YouTube
check
is
it
like my
out.
problem child. Alam mo yun? Siya yung problem
Yeah.
child ko. But I don't want to give up on my child. Parang
Yeah.
ganon. But YouTube, because I always wanted long form. Kasi when you talk about, let's say, the cards, banking, I need more time to
It's
explain.
a little more concise, naman, because you're
It-
able to really
Correct.
explain everything.
Exactly. And during the pandemic, di ba, TikTok was there. Pero TikTok was like, sabi ko, oh my God, hindi ako sumasayaw, hindi ako kumakanta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What am I gonna do there? Di ba? It was hard
It used
there.
to be like super conti lang the people that wouldn't do like the
Exactly.
dancing, wouldn't
Kasi
do
nga,
like
exactly.
the skits,
Sabi ko,
wouldn't do all this.
I can't dance, I don't sing. So parang, how?
Because
Diba?
I remember talaga like the beginning of the pandemic, like super few creators
Exactly,
lang would do
wala.
that. Yeah.
Di ba? It was like, if you don't dance, you don't belong. If you don't sing, you don't belong.
Yeah.
If you don't do funny skit, you don't belong
Yeah, there was
rin.
that whole thing like funny skit.
Diba? Kasi I was browsing through
Because
it.
remember, even like fashion, wala, like
Wala,
not so
di ba?
much.
Yes, exactly.
Like,
So
the
parang sabi
beginning.
ko nga, okay, after a year in YouTube, sabi ko, okay, sige na nga, I'll try to cross-post up content from
And then
YouTube.
just split it up.
And put it up. And then, that's how I realized, okay, pwede naman pala. And then what I love about TikTok, now it relates to me, it's because it's very raw. Di ba when I
Yes.
post, I shoot, post ka agad.
Wait, I think I'm the same. Well, on Instagram, which is like not the platform to do that, but even Jazz, like I've been with her at events,
Mhm.
and like I post really fast. Everyone like makes fun of me, like, "Wow, you like posting?" But I'm
Diba?
like, "Yeah, like that's the point." Of, Jazz and you are on a different level. As in, she's like mid hosting. I'm like, oh, she has a story. I'm like, how did she do that? Like, and that's I
And
think people
hers
like
is more
that.
curated. Pa akin kasi it's
Curated,
like,
yeah.
nakapambahay, and
As
I
in,
just,
I'll see her like up.
yeah.
Like, and it just shows that you guys are very real, you know, because like you're not thinking too hard
Correct.
about it. Like you really meant to sort of do that.
Parang
So I
it's hard,
give
diba?
respect.
That's why I
'cause-
say, when I started TikTok, I always do question and answers. Alam mo yung parang
Replying to the comment.
reply to the comment. Alam mo ba,
Oh
it
my God,
took
that
me
was such
so
a thing.
long to find the feature na, oh, you can reply to a comment. Plus yung green screen. Girl, ang tagal ko
Like the
yan.
combination.
Girl, yung green
It was
screen.
so hard to
I
do
didn't know my
before.
effects kasi pala, the one that they're doing the
I
hand,
still
girl.
don't know how to. I'm not a TikToker.
Like TikTok
I still
actually
don't know
got
how to
more
use
user
it.
friendly now.
Exactly.
Right? Like it's
Exactly.
easier to
It's
find
so easy.
everything. Before it was like
hard, di ba?
you can do pa the
Search
combination
para
of
sabi ko,
stuff.
ano ba nangyayari dito? So, but, di ba, that's how it is. And then even up until now, what I think I stuck to is like, I did not create a persona. It's the same with you and I think Gabi na parang the way I see you now, the way you are now, it's the same persona
As the
online.
person
Di ba?
on-
As a
yes.
person online. Kasi parang sabi ko, if I'm going to do this, I will not change who I am. Kasi it's so hard.
And people do that, but you can't do it forever.
Yes.
And also, like a big part of our jobs are going to events,
Correct.
and people can see,
See,
right through you, and
exactly.
you're like, okay, like you're so different.
Correct.
And when people are so bubbly, I think especially people that started during the pandemic, I find that a lot of TikTok creators are so like, they make chica, they're always commenting on your posts,
Correct.
and then you see them in person and they're like,
They're not even saying hi.
because they don't know how to like
Kasi nga, it's hard.
act because
diba?
they're putting in so much energy into their content,
Correct.
and then they're like putting on like because they're just talking to a screen, and then sometimes you're like, I feel like I know them because they're also commenting on my
But-
posts.
Yeah.
Oh my
And then you see them in
gosh, oo.
person, and then they're like, they can't even look at you. in
Wait,
the
recently I
eyes.
just saw someone in Rock. I saw
Okay.
someone in Rockwell recently, as in like
It's worse when
we
it's not an event. It's
we
worse when
follow
it's
each
like,
other, and like
Uh-uh.
comment and everything, like even reply stories and everything. Girl, she was literally hiding from me. Like I could see, like I think she was with her boyfriend, whatever. She was kind of hiding, and I was the one to like. Then my friend was like, "Yeah, she was hiding from
no,
you."
I've been, and like
I was like,
sometimes
I
like,
thought we
it's
were friends.
Feeling I get that.
and they'll like DM. It's worse when they're even you're like DMing, but it's not even just like a
Yeah,
public
like
comment.
this person replies to your stories, and then suddenly in the mall, and she's like, she was
I've
trying
done
to
that
avoid.
before. Where like, and I'll say I'm a little intimidating sometimes at events, but I'll be like, hi, and
Me
they're
also,
like
I'm very
staring.
say
and I'm like,
hi.
No,
I'm
kasi
just saying
I feel you both are
hi.
extroverts, so kaya nyo yan. Like, for me as an introvert, I can't.
Are you really an
I
introvert?
can't. I can't.
Are you really an
Yes,
introvert?
I am. I'll show you my MBTI. It never changed.
Are you really?
Oh, so it's very hard. That's
I
why,
feel like I'm an ambivert. Like I always think.
for me, if
I'm
I
just
warmed
Liam
up
Labra-
na,
Yeah, like, depending on
feeling ko
my
ikaw
mood.
kaya mo yan eh.
Depending on my mood.
For me, it's like, pag nag-warm up na ako, I'm good. Pero like, to be start, I'm sobrang introverted. So I always stay at the back. I like staying at the back. I'm the back person in the classroom. Mm-mm.
Same, but that's because I wasn't listening.
Ay. Ay, kasi parang hirap. Kasi parang diba, oh my gosh, ang hirap to parang, hi, baka sabihin sa akin, feeling close. Alam mo yung parang gano'n.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
still have my issues back then. My
I have a lot of
introvert
issues. Don't worry, girl.
Parang, okay yun.
But that
Yeah.
makes sense. But it's nice that you're able. See, I didn't even know that you're on YouTube, but it's nice that you're able to sort of pivot.
Correct.
And I think we always talk about this. It's a common theme, I
Yes.
think, on our podcast. But like, be authentic.
yes, agree.
Unless you do a persona that's like this girl. It's her name's like Haley Bailey or Holly.
Yes,
God.
I see her.
No, like,
I see
but
her.
it's really like
There's a character.
There's a
it's a
character,
character, but that's
exactly.
different. It's
Correct.
different when you're playing yourself.
Yes.
But you're not being
Agree.
yourself.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
that's-
one more
I could
thing.
have said that better.
Dapat. I always believe that you have to answer the comments and the PMs.
I don't respond
my
to
best.
the DMs.
Yeah, you do your best.
I,
Agree, agree.
I respond to all
Yeah.
my comments.
You do your best. For me, it's doing your best. Kasi you don't know how you can help that person,
Yeah.
diba? Even if it's like a short response. Sabi ko, I'm not mad kung short yung response ko, guys. It's just that, ano talaga ako,
Yeah.
matipid talaga ako sa words. I'm very direct na I'll tell you yes or no, why. Diba?
Yeah.
It's...
I really try. Sometimes I also get like awkward, but in comments I can't. DMs
Diba?
sometimes I'm like,
As long as it's
It
not
scares
like
me.
a raunchy DM.
I know. My
Pag raunchy
God.
DM, medyo iba na yun.
block.
But yung talagang
Block.
helpful na ano, yung
But-
helpful.
Yeah,
I-
like sometimes they ask for like, where can I get this? What can I
Yes.
get? Like that.
And then,
Of
diba,
course you would help.
you know, parang, I think that's one thing that you cannot buy, yung parang where your authenticity comes out because you reply to your DMs.
And it's
diba?
like creating an actual community. And I think,
Yeah.
Correct.
with all the crap that's going around in the world, and like, it's, life is hard. Like, no matter what your background is, whatever, life is hard. So a lot of people are going to the internet now
Correct.
as a safe space, even though it cannot be at times. And so creating and fostering that sort of community and energy, I think is so
Yes.
important. That's when people really last
Correct.
on this app, because I see like even like everyone I know is trying to become an influencer nowadays, And luckily I think we all sort of started earlier.
Yeah.
We're now like more
No, we're lucky
veterans,
rin,
But everyone's trying to do it, and it's a very competitive space.
It is.
And so like, no matter like how big your follower count is, if you have a community, brands, PR people will see that, and I think that's the most important
Agree.
thing, And you've really found your like niche. Like I'm still working on like my niche, but
You
like.
have your niche naman, no?
But do you think you'd ever venture out, pa? Are you really sort of like happy
Ah.
with, like, how do you see
okay.
maybe your content growing, because it is so specific, Like,
Okay.
how do you sort of see this sort of
Like expanding.
Expand.
Mm-hmm.
Because you never know. Like honestly, like we, like we all I think do this full time. Like
Uh-huh.
what happens if Instagram one day it's like bye
Bye-bye.
bye, or like your account gets deleted, or like TikTok.
Oh
Like
my
how
gosh.
do you
Oo
see
nga.
yourself like expanding more? Because I think that's a question that like I know it's hard, but like
Correct.
I'm constantly thinking about this because it's not something that'll last forever. Like
Agree.
we've seen apps just like
Go
die
and
or
die.
like go like fine. MySpace, you never know, diba?
I see me creating, or parang, when I talk about personal finance, parang I feel that it will be oh, ganun talaga. Lifelong talaga. No, kasi the thing there is, alam mo yung parang, I always say this whenever I give talks nga eh. Parang I
I
say,
want to give a talk.
Ah,
Gabby, let's do a
no.
Oh
talk.
my god.
No, I always say na
Like,
parang-
what
No, because
am
I was
gonna
gonna,
talk
I was
about?
gonna say you should do like workshops.
you know why I
and
don't do
stuff.
workshops? Parang, for now, I
Yeah.
believe kasi, na parang I create these things free of charge, diba?
Yeah.
You don't need to pay me for my templates. You don't need to pay me for question and
And
answer
that's a
portions.
community
That's what I
building also.
feel.
diba?
Kasi, di ba parang, ay nako, the state of the country, I love the country so much. Diba? But the state
Happy
sometimes...
Independence Day.
Oh my gosh.
Diba? Totoo naman eh. But sometimes it's not where it should and could have become, diba?
Mhm.
But
Of
it is what it
course.
is. So let's do what we can. So
I
for me,
think everyone can
Diba?
attest.
Can agree.
That's like the
Diba?
only thing we can agree
Like
on.
not everyone.
yes. But sabi ko
Like
nga, I don't
99%.
want to sell these things because sabi ko nga, they can use their money somewhere else.
Yes.
If kaya ko naman siya ibigay for
And
free,
you know what? I
I'll give
think
it for free.
a lot of people in general like love a gimmick. They love spending
Correct.
on something because they think there's gonna be an automatic ROI.
Correct. But
You know, and that's
diba?
I totally understand. I
Diba?
understand how that's like. That's why I'll never do an OnlyFans. I'll
diba?
just post my nudes.
Oh my God.
Joke.
Di ba kaya parang sa ko,
Right?
no, di ba? Ayoko
It makes
muna.
sense, you know.
But
And that's such a nice mindset to
yeah,
have.
di ba? Going back with I call it my Delulu vision. Delulu talaga. Para Gen Z ako. Di ba? But
You are Gen Z. Just
Oh,
honestly
yeah.
manifest that.
I was saying na parang, I believe kasi in the Philippines where everyone gets access to either credit
Yeah.
or to get access to a financial instrument. For me, it's the start kasi to where you can have more financial responsibility. And then at the end of the day, the whole cycle will just end with more uplifted Filipinos. Diba? Alam ko it's very big, diba? Parang hindi
I
po ako
love
tatakbo,
that.
hindi rin ako.
Yeah.
But, diba, but, diba, that's where it needs to start eh.
Yeah.
It cannot always be in the loop na, okay, we're gonna borrow money here. I'm sure you have your own stories where you've heard na, oh, eto, they borrowed money from this, hindi makabayad.
Yes.
Diba? It's so sad. Na parang,
Yeah, I think we're in a culture also where a lot of Filipinos are
Exactly.
not financially literate. So it's
Correct.
not easy.
So that's why I said na, how do we make it easy? That's why sabi ko nga, how can we make it not daunting? Kasi I'm sure when we were growing up, we were also scared of, oh my God, investing. And then when we heard
Right.
people about, or when we see people talk about investing, parang, ay, it's for the rich. Diba? It's always that
Right,
notion
yeah.
eh. Ah, credit card is
yeah.
for the
But
rich.
everyone started
For the-
somewhere.
Exactly.
You know? And obviously, this is why we love like getting guests on because people only see when you've sort of made it. You've had that I
Yes.
made a moment, but
Correct.
it takes a really long time to get there.
Yeah.
Unless you're Nepo baby.
Totoo yan.
You know, but like even Nepo babies work. Like, and this is why I feel like I always learn from people because like no one knows how you got there. People just want to see like, oh, like life is perfect, life is easy.
Correct.
I didn't have to put in the energy. I didn't have to invest. I didn't have to spend. Like, it takes a really long time.
And I think
you
people
know?
feel that I was always financially sound whenever I make my decision. Guys, no. I was a kid once. I bought whatever I wanted. Yung first paycheck ko nga back then, I remember. Sabi ko, oh my gosh, bibilin ko yung Nightingale na bag. Ang luma. Sorry, na-age ako doon.
Oh my gosh, I remember when I bought also my first paycheck and my dad got so mad and he's
Diba?
like, did you actually think like how much that is and how much you're
Oh,
paying?
diba? Parang sabi ko, I want to reward myself. Diba? I want a Nightingale bag. Hindi na nga uso yun nun eh. Pero sabi ko, wala akong pake.
You wanted
I
it.
wanted this. Parang ganun, diba? But, diba? And I went out, I traveled then because I love traveling. So that's what really, sabi ko, everything that I talk about right now is actually my mistakes na parang, kids, make the right decision, start early. Diba? Kasi parang,
And sometimes
it
you have
is
to
what it
learn
is.
from
Mistakes
mistakes.
Yeah.
talaga.
But if you have someone to sort of guide you,
at least you have
maybe
a
you can make
sound.
less mistakes.
Correct, less mistakes.
But like I always say, like mistakes are really
Correct.
important in life. You know, you just don't want it to be like
Agree.
don't make the mistakes like are really
Yes.
really bad.
I know.
like buying little ones
Totoo.
Yeah.
where
I
you can
agree.
learn.
And
You gotta get scared a little. You know, like
agree.
money
Yeah.
is not grown on trees. Like
Yes.
money is not just given to you. Like now that I like fully support myself,
Correct.
I realize the value of a dollar, the
Diba?
value of a Philippine peso, and it's
and
hard.
it's hard, diba? But
Life is hard.
I don't believe rin na, I don't parang believe in, scrimp on everything. Di ba sometimes,
Yeah.
na parang, you're earning. For me, I don't believe na, dapat wag ka na bumili ng mga luxury. Wag ka bumili ng mga, you don't go on trips. Parang for me, again, that's why it's always going back to, is it budgeted? If it's budgeted, you have to treat yourself a little rin. Kasi diba sometimes when people think na, when we think na, dapat mag-save lang tayo, we save so much and we don't enjoy life anymore. I don't believe in
Right.
that. For me, I
There
still
needs to
buy.
be a balance.
Invest in
It's a balance.
yourself.
Yes!
Like obviously, don't do things that you
Correct.
really can't afford. But
Afford.
like
Exactly.
I always say, if I really want something,
You
I'll
can
find a
eh.
way to get it, and that means like maybe like my thing is like let's say I want a bag. It's always the bags, right?
Oh yeah, it's always a bag.
Maybe I'll like not eat out or like starve a little because I'm like
Correct.
I'd rather be skinny, and then the bag will look even better.
True
on me.
naman. Basta,
You know, it's just priorities. Like,
Agree,
maybe that's not the
priorities.
best example, but
Parang
like
ano na
you
lang.
can find a way. Just like budget.
Budget.
Budgeting is so important.
It's
and
like,
I'm learning.
ito yung perfect example ko. When I go on trips, diba, I wanna stay in a nice hotel. I stay one night, but the rest is like more of a mid hotel for me. Diba? But when I stay in that good hotel, hindi ako lalabas.
Yeah.
Lahat gagawin.
Like
Wait, I
room
feel like you-
service,
wait, you
spa,
posted that,
everything.
diba? I usually do
I
that
feel,
eh.
no, but have you posted that?
Not yet. Usually. But
Because
I
I saw someone actually like
Do
say
that.
that, and I was like,
Diba?
That's
It's like,
what-
that's how we budget it. Because
Compromise,
compromise,
yeah.
diba? Kasi you cannot, if you have the budget for every day saying na 5-star, go, diba? But if you don't, then 3-star, 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 then 5-star, diba? To end the trip. Kasi that's what I like eh.
Yeah.
Parang, I want to reward myself a little. Kasi it's budgeted rin, diba? It's not naman, 5-star ka ng 5-star, tas lahat inutang mo. Girl, no, please. Huwag ka mangungutang just to go on a trip or to get that bag.
Yeah.
Diba? Like, I'm sure you agree with that. Na parang, no, you can't utang just to get the bag that you want.
Yeah.
Diba? I don't agree with that.
I don't agree with that either. I just think if there's a will, there's a way.
Correct.
But again, I think a big lesson is also like things take time. You
It
know,
takes time.
and so like you're not gonna get it straight away, but you can. And you know, it's nice to have goals. Like I have a shopping wish list.
Yes.
Am I going out to buy it now? Could I buy it now? Yes. Do I think it's financially irresponsible to do it right now? Maybe. Maybe I'll wait for a sale or something, you know? But like, that's when you really have to think about
Think, yeah.
like, do you need it now? Is it a want? Is it
The
a need?
Exactly.
That's so important.
And then sometimes, diba, what happens is, whenever I want to buy something, I always do this rin. I would sleep on it at least a day, or 2 days, or 3 days.
Yeah.
Kasi if I still think about it, then baka gusto ko talaga siya. But if I forgot about it in the second day, parang, maybe it's not something that I really
But I'm like
want.
crazy. I'm like Confessions of a Shopaholic, like the movie where the mannequins are talking to
You're not
you.
meeting the allegations, girl.
Okay lang yun.
Like serious.
No, kasi ako,
Like to me, okay, it's really small, but to me, like late at night, sometimes I'll be like, I really want a burger, and then I'll wait.
And then
30
me and
minutes
myself,
later, if I'm like, I'm going fucking crazy, I'm like, Liam, just fucking eat that burger. Just eat it already. Like
And
even
then
nap,
then you want
you're gonna
that.
drive yourself crazy.
Correct.
Like just get it. Like life is too short. Like tomorrow, eat a salad.
But yeah,
Like,
sometimes
you
I'm
know?
also like, I'm gonna
Like, it's-
sleep.
Oh, diba?
Sleep on it.
And then-
first.
But that's hard
I'm-
because yours is food. Like how do
Yeah.
you like
Or-
your
no, but
Oh, we can
sometimes-
just eat it na eh.
Sometimes I'm like, I don't
Oh
really
my-
care enough, right? But sometimes I'm like, Liam, if you're thinking
Yeah.
about like life is too short to
Correct.
not eat that
Exactly,
fucking burger. Just
oo.
eat it.
Correct. That's food. It's
And then
okay.
I'll ask a friend, and everyone's like, yes, yes. One person will be a no, and then I'll fight them. And like, if you're fighting, you're losing a friendship over burger. Like, just get that burger.
Just get a
already.
burger na nga.
Like-
Yes, I agree.
Like, I'll fight my boyfriend. I'm like,
At least
he's
sa
like,
akin
oh,
kasi,
just like wait, and I'm
It's like an
like,
expensive
can't
food.
wait, I need it. And I'll order it.
Burger, you can always take a burger,
I know.
diba? Pag
No,
ito
but I
medyo
say
mahal
that, but I
kasi.
have it every day.
Ah,
But it's sort of the same, just like
different.
Health-wise, you know?
Health-wise naman siya.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of your lessons that you're teaching can also be applied to like different aspects of
Yeah.
life. It's not just like
In just, like,
financial.
in credit card.
Yes. And almost everything, like when you want something, when you want to buy, when you go on that trip, diba? Pwede. It's like always
Get that trip,
finding
get
the
that
best,
burger,
diba,
get
finding
that
the
bag.
best value. It's always like best value.
Yeah.
And then it's always like, diba, like what you always say, Ren, it's all about self-love, Ren. You cannot scrimp too much on yourself na parang,
Yeah.
ay, walang-wala ka
Like you're
na.
kawawa already.
Oo,
Because then what's the
exactly,
point
no.
of living? You know, I just think
Exactly.
live within your means and like
Yes.
that's so important.
I agree with that.
For sure, I'm
Sure.
still learning.
I agree with that. I agree with that. Like live within your means. And even if it's hard, I think you would agree. Even if it's hard to, let's say, parang fight the... Di ba when you're scrolling on Instagram, I'm sure Gabby would understand and Liam, na parang, oh my gosh, parang gusto ko tong bag na to. Kasi
You just
parang
see
ang
everyone
ganda.
posting
And everyone's
about it. I know.
But
posting
you don't
about
know,
it.
maybe they like
Exactly.
budgeted to get it. Like people don't
Correct.
talk about that.
And I
Yes.
also had to learn to really be like, oh my gosh, like everything, like when you're just scrolling on Instagram, there's so much like trendy things that you're gonna regret later on. And I
Oo.
feel like I used to really, like especially when I was like high school, college, like I'd really buy
Buy
into
the
all of them. And then now I'm just like,
And that is
no,
when we weren't thinking because we didn't
Yeah.
have someone like you to
No
sort of
naman.
teach us
I was also like that back then. Na
Yeah.
parang, oh my God, I
Yeah,
wanted
but we weren't
this. Diba?
because there was a lack of information.
yes.
Especially when I think in high school, like or college, I wasn't making my own money. I
Correct.
was focusing on my
Yes.
studies. And so to me, I was
We'll
like,
save our
this
allowance and
money,
buy something.
or this money will always just come because I'm not.
Exactly.
Again, I said I don't know the value of a dollar or a
Correct.
peso because
Agree.
you're not working for that money.
Yeah.
You know. So really, like when I started earning my own money, I was like,
Oh, it's hard. Na parang, oh my
Like,
gosh.
how much was I spending like randomly? You know,
Yeah.
it makes sense why my parents like took away my credit card.
Kaya now, whatever I spent back then, I never look back at it na.
Really?
Kasi parang,
You can't like if you keep regretting.
yeah,
like,
you're
it's
gonna regret it kasi.
I know. Sometimes I look back, like
Kaya
even
don't
when I
look
see some of my
back.
old photos, and I'm like, why did I
Don't.
buy this? Like this is so like I'm not even wearing
Correct.
it anymore.
But-
Feeling ko it's a learning na lang, but
Learning
don't
another
look back.
lesson, you
Yes.
know?
yeah.
And that can help you long term.
Correct. Kasi if you keep looking back, ako, personally in my finance, di ba? Parang sabi ko, oh my gosh, when I look at my cabinet and all the bags there, parang, di ba? I don't wanna look at it na lang. Kasi parang, you'd always wonder, what if I invested this?
Yeah,
What if,
it's
di
the
ba?
what if.
It's the what if. Kaya sabi ko, wag na. Just make better choices today.
Yeah, in the
Parang
future,
ganon,
like
diba?
moving forward.
Correct. Di ba parang, okay, itama natin yung mali natin today. Ganon.
Budgeting my trip, but I'm gonna budget.
No, you're gonna budget. Alam mo, that's why when you go on a trip, it's always dapat budgeted talaga. At least you know. You know how much and you know how much in what you can spend. Kasi,
Making an Excel
Oh my
sheet.
gosh.
kasi on a trip, di ba, it will always be over budget. Usually. Parang 90%
That's why you put
of the
the
time.
miscellaneous.
Yeah.
Di ba, it's always like, you will always go over budget. And when you see on a, bigla may sale pala dito sa shop,
Oh my
bigla
gosh,
may
it's
outlet,
sale
girl.
season.
Nako, kung
It's
mag-outlet na
sale
dead.
season when we get there.
Diba? Yan. That's the thing eh. When you see an outlet, parang, ang mura.
Actually,
want
I
it.
don't like going to outlets anymore because I realized that's where a lot of like my bad
The
decision
budol.
purchases were.
Because you think, oh,
Kasi
just because
it's
it's
cheap.
cheaper.
Yeah, sometimes like it's not even really in your wish list or it's not
Correct.
like something that
Because
you're
it's cheap
saving
eh.
up for, and then oh suddenly because it's cheap you're just
Correct.
We
and then
actually
you
talked
regret it
about this.
after.
How like sometimes I'd rather like not get things secondhand because I want to like save for that purchase, and that's
Correct.
just mine.
Uh-huh.
And sometimes, especially secondhand, it's not on the top unless you find something that like a vintage
It's
thing that
exactly
you really
Correct.
what you were
find.
looking for.
Sometimes it's better to just like, okay, I'm gonna wait a little,
Yeah.
save, and then that's my bag that
Correct.
I purchased because I
Agree.
actually want that.
Yeah.
Agree, agree,
You
agree.
know?
But 50-50. But, no, I grew to love pre-love.
No, I
Gosh.
do
But,
as
diba?
well. But like sometimes the
But you
decision
want-
making
yes.
is a little more flawed because you're like, oh, it's cheaper.
I always go
You know?
with pre-love kasi pag the bag doesn't have value. Oh my God, I'm sama ko
Oh,
ba?
that's true.
That's true,
Yeah.
diba?
Yeah,
Kasi it's
there's
like-
certain
There's certain
bags
bags
talaga.
kasi. And the thing is, I love Celine kasi so much. Like, ever since. So, even up until hindi na uso ang Celine na Phoebe Philo days, I still carry it kasi that's my favorite.
I see
Ever,
you as a
that
Celine
era.
girly.
Ano
I see
Celine?
it.
So, di ba, I have all the sizes ng luggage. Even up until now, I still...
Oh, you're like
You know
very,
what?
I
Until
like-
now,
I-
I still love the luggage.
Diba?
I was also obsessed with Phoebe,
Phoebe
era.
talaga.
I
So-
was in high school though,
Yeah.
but like
And I think real fashion.
Sige, no.
I think real fashion people will be like, okay, respect. Like,
Yeah.
You know.
So even up until now, so it's my favorite year. So even up until now, the bags are still there because I like all her bags.
Yeah.
My God, no, ang luma,
There's
di ba?
some-
But even up until now. But kasi wala siyang value talaga.
Right.
Let's
but
be
the
honest.
value
But then
is
now you
for
can buy
But,
yourself.
yourself.
but now I can buy more.
You can buy more, and then at the second-hand
Yun nga
market, it's
siya.
like way more affordable
Correct.
now. But I remember when it was so expensive,
It's so
like the
expensive, diba?
luggage,
Oo,
and you could
eh.
only get it at Om and Fom in
Oo,
Shang.
Shang
But they
back
had
then.
all the colors. You could see it from the.
Do you know back then where
displays.
it was cheapest? Duty free. Sa
Really?
Naiyawan.
Right, you
Oh
could
my
get it in duty
God.
free.
Yes. So you were in grade school pa. Oh my God. Kasi this was the time na, di ba Phoebe was like 2010, 2011.
Yeah.
Think 2008. As in, the luggage was like one size. Palang that nobody wanted.
The
That parang
big
ang
size.
pangit.
Yeah,
Yes.
and it was heavy. And
Yes.
like, it looks like a robot.
Well,
It
we
was
were,
in duty
we were
free and
also
on
little
sale.
kids. Like imagine.
Oh my
lugging
God,
around
I do
like
know
Yes.
there used to be Celine duty free
Yes,
before
there
they like pulled
was.
out.
This is
They
Naiya
pulled
one.
out. They pulled out, yes.
Yeah, it's
Naiya
like
one.
this duty free, like the
When you
shop.
enter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kasi nandun lang siya. Nobody wanted it.
Yeah.
And even there's a duty free, di ba? In Naiwan, like the big shopping papaikot.
Yes.
Yeah.
There was
yeah,
there,
yeah.
eh. Pero way back in the day yan, na wala na.
Yeah.
It's a shop na talaga right
Oh
now.
my
But
God.
yon, di ba? Kaya, for me, going into bags na,
I'm so excited.
I wanted to know, parang, do you think
You're getting
bags
a
are
nosebleed
investment
from
or
the
not?
English, and I was getting nosebleed from like the
The-
finance joke.
Di ba?
No,
Let's talk
Yeah.
about, do you think bags are investment or not?
It depends which bag.
Oh
I
my
think
God,
it's.
okay.
I think it's a
It depends
way
which
for you
bag for
to
real.
like. I think it's a bad mindset because I think people are like, oh, it's an investment. Like
Okay.
I can sell. You're not gonna fucking sell it. Come on, like you're just using that as an
Okay.
excuse to buy
Oh my
something
God,
yeah.
expensive.
Ako 50-50. I kind of agree with Gabby on depends on which
Yeah,
bag.
obviously depends,
But,
but
yes,
most
I
of the
agree
time
with
people
this.
are like,
Yung
oh, I'm
people
gonna
are
resell
always
it.
joke
And, like
on that.
value doesn't
Agree.
always last. You
Kaya
know?
ako, for you, said, if you wanna buy that bag, budget it and buy that bag. Kasi it's what you want eh.
Yeah.
It's like, but I agree with Gabby na parang, oh, there are some bags talaga that holds its value. Like when I was looking at it, so ko, oh, it really does eh. If you can get that bag.
Yeah.
That's the question, di ba? But also, di ba, a lot of people might sell you on no hate against, di ba? Those people that will sell you a bag that says na, oh, it will hold its value. I think do your research first.
Same
It's
thing
really
with
do your
cars as
research.
well, you
It's
know,
the
it's like
cars.
all items.
Hindi
It's not just
talaga.
bags,
But
It's
every
yeah.
car is like for me not an investment. The
Agree.
moment
Yeah.
you drive it
Drive it out,
the
wala
showroom,
na eh.
yeah.
Agree, di ba? So parang just buy a car na gusto mo and you will use it talaga.
For a long
For a
time,
long
yeah.
And then
time.
and then take care of it. It's
Correct.
like my bags, like okay. So my older ones, I'm just like bahala na. But if I bought it with my own money,
Diba?
you take care of it,
Correct.
and then that's how the value can stay. But if
Diba?
you're just like
Kasi wala eh, it's like-
flinging it around, like
Di ba? No,
Oh my gosh, this is why people are like, can we see how do you care for bags? I never answer because I actually I do not.
same tayo. Kasi I
I'm
think
I
not
think they're meant to
care.
be.
you
But
wore.
then I know I didn't use that as an excuse. Like, oh, I'm gonna
Correct.
sell it because I
Exactly.
bought it with my own money.
Oo.
I want to keep it.
Agree.
I'm not gonna sell it.
Yes.
I saved for it.
Kasi
Like,
di ba parang,
bahala na.
when you sell a bag na well-loved, well-used, it's not gonna hold it
Right.
technically,
People really
di
do
ba?
that if it's like a business one, not
Yes.
for personal things.
Correct.
Yeah.
If it's for your business, go, di ba? Buy those bags that holds
then
its
you're not gonna-
value.
You save so much for that bag, and then you
Yes.
can't appreciate it because you don't want to bring it around.
Correct.
Like it's same thing with shoes. When people are like, oh, like I don't want to wear these shoes out. Shoes are
Yeah.
meant to be worn.
Agree.
Cars are meant to be driven. Bags are meant to be worn.
Yes.
Unless it's a business and you're
Like
gonna
planning to
sell
flip
it.
it.
Agree. Yes.
future.
Diba?
Kung flip, sige, di ba? But if you're gonna use it for yourself, just use the bag, use the shoes. Kasi
Yeah.
parang, and don't think of it na parang, it will be an investment piece. For me lang naman to, guys, ha? I'm sure there will be people hating on me, but
No,
di ba, it is what it is. Eh, parang, buy a bag that you want, that you're going to love. Hindi yung bag because, oh, eto kasi may value. Eh, kung hindi mo talaga siya type, di wag mo siyang bilhin.
That's
Diba?
true.
That's right. At the end of the day, it comes down to budget. Just budget
Just
something.
budget
and then
something
once
and
you
then
have
use
it,
it.
then you know that you can use
Correct.
it. You know? And I've learned that the hard way. Like I have a wish list. Could I like buy some of those things now? Yes. Do I think it's the proper decision? No. So I'm just gonna wait for the right time. And who knows, like maybe I'll be in a new era where that might not be my wish
Exactly.
list. And then maybe I'll have more money then. Or like maybe the purchase, even if it like I end up not liking it after a while, it's
Yes,
fine.
it's fine.
right?
Exactly. Kasi parang
So-
sayang eh, di ba? So at least we're done with that
Critic-
investment as a bag as an investment.
Critical thinking.
Yeah.
Di ba? But
That's the one thing I learned from like doing IB. Like
Critical
in
thinking.
school, it's like critical thinking for my shopping purchases. You know.
Yes. For me, just if budgeted siya, buy it, use it. Like, I learned that the hard way. Kasi ang tagal ko, I'm the type na I would take care of the thing and not use it. Alam mo yun? Kasi
Or like I saw a quote where like when you have like a special piece, people like save it for a special occasion. But I think if you have something that's higher in value, then get the ROI. Use it as much as you can.
I
Like I have
agree.
certain tops that like I've spent way too much money on. I fucking wear those shirts and whatever all the time. Like your painted more jealous shoes, because I'm like I'm gonna fucking
use
ROI it.
talaga.
You know, like people are so scared, and I'm like, then you shouldn't have bought it in the first
Correct.
place.
I think it's
diba?
the ano.
It's like a full circle.
I think
like,
I baby it like
um,
when I unbox and like the first and then the first two
wala
uses
na.
and then after like
Wala na.
I'm really like,
that's
oh,
wala.
I'm just like
Yeah.
sometimes you really enjoy using
once
it.
you've gotten your
Feeling ko,
content.
feeling ko it should be like that eh. Or maybe I was just in a different era back then where sa amin talaga, no? In the age ko, sorry. No, parang, maybe it's a scarcity mindset in me.
Yeah.
Or maybe mga panganay would understand. Like, di ba, you have to take care of the stuff, you have to be very careful with the stuff. That's why it took me so long to parang just use it.
Yeah.
So even up until now, sometimes I see it, oh my God, I don't wanna use it. Kasi it's like, but it's sobrang sayang if you just keep it in the cabinet, tapos it just got old.
Or you don't, it's not in
And
the right
yes,
temperature.
exactly.
Hoy, it might
Ano, wala na.
mold,
Exactly.
the mold.
Exactly, di ba? Kaya nga parang for me,
Sayang.
just use it. Di ba? Just
Yeah, like
use
sometimes
it.
if you don't use it for a long time,
It's gonna get-
like I think my mom had
Exactly.
these shoes like from Chanel, but then hers because it became pandemic, so quite
Correct.
naturally like
Di ba?
she really didn't get to use it. When she started using it again, it
Wala
started to
na.
fall apart na.
Di, wala na, di ba?
Yeah,
Sayang.
so you should have used
So,
it.
di ba? Yeah, the same. So parang, that's why I like the mindset that you have na, no, use it. It's the same thing when you buy something, you like it, use it, di ba? Hindi yung parang, oh, I'll save it for a day na, or special occasion. Girl, ilang pang special occasion mo in a year?
Yeah.
Two or three.
You
Diba?
could also
True.
just buy something that's like meant to look damaged, like my golden gooses. I'm not sure now if it's like the shoe or like the
Correct.
dirt from the
No, that's
Manila
why the
floor.
Margiela ones I was like, whatever, it
Yes.
doesn't matter. It's
Yeah, 'cause
face
it's-
splatter. It can be
Because it's
so
really
dirty.
like meant to be like that.
Kaya nga
you
right
know?
now, di ba, sometimes if I budget myself buying, let's say, an old Celine bag, I would like pre-love. Kasi parang,
At least it's old na.
It's old na at ginasgas na siya ng ibang
Sometimes if
tao.
there's one mark,
I'm
it's
okay.
annoying. But if there's like a lot,
It's
like,
okay.
It's okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
So I'm like, oop.
Oh, I do hate
Yes.
it when it's like so pristine and then
Yes,
one.
I hate that too.
Mm.
Yes. Sobrang hate ko yun. Parang,
Even
oh
in
my
like
God.
jewelry, when it's super shiny and then you get the first scratch, you're like,
Yes.
it's
Pero-
different when it's a lot na.
Oh, yes. So parang after you get that first, parang, sige na. Then we're okay.
Let go.
You
Let
have to
go.
balance it out. You can't have one mark. It's like two. You're
Oo.
like,
Correct.
like
Diba?
scratch.
Okay na.
I'm like, oop.
Kasi if it's one, di ba, parang, oh my God, mga OCD ka
So
pa eh, na parang you see it. Pag marami na parang,
Same
okay.
with everything. So I think this is part of the pod. So we're moving on now.
Sure.
We usually have a game. We have a game, right?
Ay, oh, sige.
So it's usually like a this or that or
Ay, oh
something.
my God.
And
It's
we,
like fun.
okay.
Now it's time to play a game. Our favorite part.
Alam mo, I never knew that they just use a DJI action for your videos.
Yeah.
Ang hinaw.
Yeah.
Reveal.
Kasi
It's
may
a DJ.
ilaw. Okay, ang
Sponsor
linaw.
us.
Tech
Okay.
No,
reveal.
it's really weird. Fairness, like, well, also that we have lights.
Kasi you have the lights.
The
Well,
lights
sometimes when
help,
I'm
I
using
guess.
that to vlog, ay, naku, labo.
I think I hear
lights
though
kasi.
that like you really need to know how to like
The
color grade and
settings,
stuff and fix the
yeah.
settings if you're using a DJI
Okay.
because it's like clear but color wise.
Correct.
It's not gonna.
Okay. So, I will learn to color grade. Okay. That's my learning today. Okay.
All
We're
right.
just learning today.
Learning day. Okay.
Yeah.
The game is save or splurge, and you're just gonna say
Question.
I think I know my. Yeah.
you're just gonna say save if you want to just save your money or keep it,
Okay.
or splurge if you want to splurge on these items that
Okay.
I will say.
This is where we get canceled because you don't like our answer. They always like.
Why?
They always know. They're always trying to like.
That's why
get
we
us
always
canceled.
justify.
Oo nga eh. Personal ano naman
Yeah.
to eh.
No, we're-
But we always say like we're not gonna explain.
Correct.
Then we always
Ay,
explain
okay.
because we have to
we're
justify
defensive.
why we're doing
We're
something.
defensive. Okay, we're ready.
First, eating out or ordering food delivery.
I'm gonna say save because I'm pretty good at like eating my like. Well, I'm not a foodie. I eat my chicken and vegetables every day, and I'm like pretty good.
I'm a
But
splurge.
like, I've been eating salad sop every day, which gets pretty pricey. But because I eat it at home, I consider it like free. So
Okay.
that's my justification. So technically, I'm saving because at least I'm not eating at like Wolfgang every day. You know,
Ako parang save rin. Kasi,
I'd
I'm so
rather buy.
tamad to go out.
I'd also rather buy
Tamad.
material items that I can have more
Correct.
long lasting. Like I'd rather buy a bag.
It-
Like if I save that
exactly.
money.
And it's cheaper to buy your food and cook it.
I don't mind eating at home, but I grew up in a household that
Mhm.
would not eat at home. As in, like, we'd
Ah.
always go out. So parang I,
Well, also
got
when you
used to that.
when you're doing OMAD,
yeah.
it made sense to have one meal.
Correct.
No, but even before all that, like, I really grew up, like,
Going
my
out
parents
talaga.
love going out to eat and stuff. So I just got used to it. But then, like, for example, like, when I was alone studying in like, Lille and stuff, I would cook because I love going to the grocery. So I get
Okay,
excited
yes.
with, like, buying ingredients
Oh
and
my
then
gosh,
looking
groceries.
for
Yes,
like
I love
different
recipes for
produce.
it.
Yes.
So like
God.
I know I can. You know what I mean? Like when I'm
Okay.
alone, like let me do this and
Okay.
stuff. But then just because like I live with my parents and everything.
You would go.
So now like we have to go out.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Makes sense, makes sense.
Oh my god. Okay, guys, we haven't been cancelled yet.
Oh, diba?
Next is designer items or clothes.
Or
Splurge.
I'm
Clothes
sorry, I'm a
lang, diba?
splurge talaga. Clothes
Ako.
specifically, not accessories.
Well, I think I still save because I don't like buy everything.
Mhm.
But I definitely, at least for me, like I think it depends on the person. But that's something I really love, and that's something I really put my money towards.
Okay.
So like definitely splurge, not on everything. So I still save, or sometimes I'll like not buy something because I want to buy
Okay.
something more expensive.
Yeah.
So there's definitely like I feel like a mindset that I have when it comes to that. But I'm definitely like willing to splurge. We can just get Gabbie, we know.
Alam ko kay Gabbie splurge. For sure. Ako, I'm safe kasi I'm not a clothes person talaga. I mean, I like it. It's just that parang I can't
But
justify.
I get it because also sometimes like ready to wear like a bag you can sort of rewear more
Correct.
in different ways. So I totally get why like to me I'd rather spend on a bag. Sometimes I splurge on clothes that I know that I can really ROI.
Okay, yeah.
So I think it's more the mindset like can you ROI?
Yes, depending
know?
on the
Yeah.
item.
my answer is splurge, but I've become more mindful now.
Okay.
Like in the recent years compared to before. Like now I'll really just splurge on if I know like, oh I'm gonna wear it a lot talaga. Or let's say it's a super unique piece.
Correct.
That's like a one off, like, oh this season lang this print and I really like it. Something like that.
Correct.
So not as like not as irresponsibly splurging.
You've been watching a lot of
Before.
Jax's
Medyo
content.
ano na, no? Can I, ano talaga, use it for a long
Yeah.
time?
Makes
But
sense.
to be honest, like good, well-made dresses, shirts, even shorts, they really last long.
Yes.
Totoo naman. Like, I
And
would...
some things are expensive but don't last. And I think
Correct. Yeah.
no, now that I think it really changed when I started earning my own money.
Mhm.
And then you started budgeting and figuring out like, okay, like is it really worth it?
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
So that's where like
Yeah.
the hardships come in because it really helps you sort of switch your brain around,
Okay.
you know?
So I think some people are the type that like they always want to wear new things.
Yeah.
There are people that have that mindset. Like for me, for example, I don't mind wearing something that's like 10 years old. And so that's why I think I'm like willing to splurge because I know na, 10
Yeah.
years from now, like, you know what's so funny? Liam talked about the Universe event a while ago. And then at the Universe event, I literally wore this Marnie shirt that I got from like one of their stores almost 10 years ago.
Oh,
And
diba?
then one of the people in the team were like, I know this shirt. And he was like, wow, buhay pa. And I was like, yeah, see, like if you take care of it.
No. Kaya nga, Gabi, I watched one of your video na parang sinabi mo, yeah, I repeat my clothes.
Yeah, I
remember
really
that video
do.
mo
Like,
eh.
I
Kasi
don't
it's just like,
mind. Yeah.
Diba, it's...
And you can style it
Exactly.
differently.
Yun nga eh. Parang it's... Diba, there's a lot of way back in the days kasi diba yung mga videos na yung mga movies kasi when I was younger, di ba mga outfit repeater kasi yung mga sinasabi
Wait,
nila.
no, it's like
This
Disney
is
Survivors.
Di ba? Your outfit repeater. Exactly.
And
And like, that's why we have the notion na para the
mindset.
mindset na
No.
parang, oy, hindi pwede mag-outfit. Girl, hindi. Pwede.
Yeah.
Gonna sue Hillary Duff.
No, it was
No.
it was the other girl.
It was the other girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no
the
one
one
knows
that,
her, so we have to sue the
correct.
closest
that girl,
person.
That girl who
Disney.
likes spaghetti.
Sue
Yeah, Kawawa,
Disney.
she's probably not doing well.
Mm-mm.
Hillary
I
Naman is
know.
richer.
Yeah.
Talk about budget.
Yeah, she has budget to
We
make
can
it
get
diba?
more
super.
money out of
Correct.
her,
O,
diba?
diba?
No, but I love outfit repeating.
It's like a challenge.
Like you know what? Like
Like
it's not
style.
cool to like spend money unnecessarily. Like it's not
Exactly.
like who are you fooling? Like you're just
My
fooling
gosh.
yourself. Like
Yourself, yeah.
that's the
Oo.
Delulu that's not cute.
Correct.
You know? So like I will re-wear the same bag over and over
Exactly.
again. And I don't care. And it's like at least I know that the money that I saved for that is being it makes me feel a little better,
Correct.
you know? Especially when like some people I know and it's such a bad mindset. Once it doesn't look new, they don't want to use it now because they think
Yeah.
it's like diminishing their like
Worth.
worth.
Or
They're
even
like
their image.
Yeah.
kasi.
because they have to be clean and like put together all the time. And I'm like, I see videos of people like, who's that person? They got in trouble for like beating up their bag. Oh my god, Victoria Paris. You know her.
Oh yes, I
She
know
like beat up
her.
her bag and
I
people
find her
like,
so
oh, like
funny,
you're
though.
ruining that. First of all, she spent her own money. She could do whatever she wants with her
Whatever.
bag, and she's gonna use it more because she wanted it beat up.
Correct,
You know, so just like do whatever.
She always
the fuck.
ruffles her audience's feathers, though.
I
But
know.
she's
Yeah,
so
it's like-
interesting.
But they always say, pag sa finance, you always hear people say na it's always better to look. Diba? To not, ano ba yan? To not look rich because you know that you're wealthy. Diba? You don't want to look rich na parang, oh, I just look rich. But at the end of the day, oh my gosh, do you have?
You're in debt or whatever.
You're in debt,
Yeah.
diba? Kasi ang daming ganun eh.
But super like random. But I love looking at so Bea Ledesma, who we've been wanting her to go on the pod. She
She's
has
like
this
scared to
account.
get cancelled. She's
No,
like,
'cause
we're gonna be
she will
cancelled in
cancel
2
herself.
minutes.
No, she will cancel herself. She has this account on TikTok called "What You Wearing," right? It's pretty big, and I love seeing because her crowd's a little more tita.
Oh,
But
yeah.
all these rich people are explaining like, yeah, I got this like 10 years ago.
Okay.
You know, because they're really like, once you invest in something, you really keep it forever.
Forever.
You know, so I
agree.
really like that like even these like billionaires are like, oh, I got this 15 years ago and I'm still wearing it,
Correct.
you
I
know?
agree.
And that's where like being smart, like, well,
Yes.
is this trendy? And usually a lot of like more designer items are less trendy. There are
Totoo.
trendy items, but a lot of things will last
Will
a lot
last
longer.
Correct.
And also don't wash your clothes, like dry clean. Like
yeah, if you
there's
can,
I saw
dry
a quote
clean.
somewhere online that like when fashion people never wash their clothes.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna fuck
It's
with the
not-
quality.
correct.
So I just dry, clean when I can.
Especially if it's expensive,
Yeah.
diba? Correct.
You know?
Agree.
So it's just being smart, guys. Like not saying spend on everything. Like it's not always a justification.
Depends. Yes.
But if you're willing to spend, then just
For me,
Try
get
clean
the
Oatly.
best that you can if you have the budget
Yeah.
for it.
The best
Exactly.
that
The
your
best.
budget
The
can get you.
yes. Diba? It doesn't necessarily mean na, oh, diba? It's not like, oh, you buy this bag because wala kang budget for it. What's the next best? Diba?
Yeah.
There's so many bags
And I
out
also think there are always goals and like it's hard because even sometimes I feel like I'm always comparing myself to others and I'm like, oh, I want this now, and I realize like, wait, I'm still young. Okay, I feel like I'm old, but in life,
I agree with that.
I'm still
Yeah,
young. and
totoo.
there's always more time.
And don't,
You know, you don't need it right now. Like
correct.
that Bottega bag is not gonna save your
Yes.
life.
And you don't
You know?
always compare yourself with others because
Yeah.
the problem right now is because of social
Social
media.
media.
You see everything.
You always want
well,
to compare
you see the 1%
yourself.
life is not a real.
Correct. Oo, totoo.
You don't
Oo,
see everything.
totoo.
Or maybe that person had to utang to get that
Correct.
bag.
Exactly. Ikaw, syempre,
know?
you have more money, you can fly to wherever places you want to go, di ba? At least you enjoy life more, di ba?
Exactly.
Okay.
Not the over explanation,
Dami,
but
di ba?
I love these games because it really parang adds to like what we're
To
trying
the
to say.
episode,
To the
yeah,
episode.
you get to talk more.
Okay.
Yay, next.
Oh my gosh,
Next.
this is such a cute case. Sorry. Ang gulo namin.
I know Gabbie loves his case to fly.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
an Apple case, but
Actually,
honestly,
it was just given. That's why I'm using it.
Cute.
I wanna get
the
It
heart.
has that thing.
to support the queen.
It's so me.
You know what? I used to really love wildflower cases.
Di ba?
The one of Devin Sydney Carlson. It's very like Y2K, whatever. But I think that's how I should have known I
I'll
was
Google
gay.
it. I wanna see it. What
Yeah. Do
case?
you know Devin Lee Carlson?
Parang hindi.
Well,
Or
they're
feeling ko I know if I
yeah.
see it.
Well, they're very big because of like their cases. So it's nice. They do
Oh.
collabs. Like Emma Chamberlain has one. It's
Girl,
very
ang mahal
like
kasi ng case na to, no? I
Pag
would
it's
buy a
not-
150 peso case lang.
I know my friend keeps telling me not to buy the
It's
Apple
so
ones because you
expensive
can buy it
kasi.
off of.
But I always only have one case for my phone its entire lifetime.
Really?
No, but
Yeah.
look, like the
Okay.
thing about the Apple,
Yeah.
like this is my second one that does
Same nga
this.
eh.
Like for
Yeah.
example, this one. Since I got the phone,
Since
it's been
ito
this
na?
one na, yeah.
Case if I won't break.
And then
But
I think
it
one
won't
time, like
break.
I had like an all white outfit, whatever. And then like it was this one. My friend was like, "Gabi talaga, hindi nag-change ng case,"
hindi.
and it was to like the Allure event.
What I'll
So I
do
was
is
like, "Ah."
no. If I have an outfit
I
that
think
doesn't
it's
go,
okay,
I'll just
don't
take off the
care.
case.
No, yeah, that's what I did na lang before I
You
went
take
down.
it-
I was like,
Okay.
okay,
Or like a
fine.
special, like
I was like
if
the
I-
pressure.
if I'm
Bakit talaga wala? Hindi na
No,
Right?
like,
We
hindi na
also, it's like,
nagbago.
it's
Parang
fine.
yun na siya,
Yeah,
di
if
ba?
I'm going to
not like
anything Vogue or like a gala, I take off the case
I
because it's
don't.
like,
It's not like I take a
Diba?
picture with my phone. Parang like that. It's
Ah,
or I like
yeah.
hide. It's like if my hands are behind my
Okay,
back
okay.
taking photos,
Put
it's
it
because
up.
I'm holding hiding my phone. Okay,
okay,
next.
we're ready.
Sorry.
That was
Sorry,
such a, oh my
ano,
gosh.
sinabi.
That's such a sidetrack.
Okay, next is trendy water bottles.
Ay. Okay.
I haven't. I have
Safe.
Ako safe talaga.
Yeah.
I mean, if makita mo yung water bottle ko, it's like libre sa whatever event. I
Like,
mean,
to me, some things like maybe that's just my.
I'm a
But you know
safe
what? I
girl.
find that maybe I'm overanalyzing, but I think a lot of people's mindsets, if they can't afford other things, they find trendy things that they can sort of show off. I think that's maybe some people's mindsets where they're like, okay, maybe I can't afford something mahal, but this cool collab, I could be like,
Correct.
look, I have this and you don't. It's always like a showing off thing.
for me kasi, it's like, how many water bottles do you need ba kasi? Parang, di ba?
I don't mind investing in one good
Correct.
one,
You can
but it's
get
not
one
about
good,
like
yeah.
to me. It's like, okay, will my water actually stay
Yeah,
cold?
Correct.
So I have
Diba?
this simple modern one I got off of Amazon. It's beaten up, like the straw. It's like chewed off, like it's. But I love it because it like keeps my water cold.
diba? I mean, for me, functionality. Basta it keeps it cold,
Yeah.
okay na.
I had like in college, like that's when I like bought stuff because I really
Uh-uh.
needed like frick, it's so hot in Ateneo. I always need water.
Correct,
and then
correct.
I'd have like I bought a different one for coffee. Syempre, like it's different.
Okay,
for
okay.
coffee naman.
No,
iba
So
naman.
I had a different, but then now like I don't need anymore. Like
Basta-
I have it now. Like
Oo,
you know what I mean? If I
yes.
need it,
And they last.
Nike.
So
I
I
have
don't mind. Again,
Yeah,
that's
mine-
the investing.
Correct.
Like there's like cheaper ones online, but if you get like certain brands that are
Yeah.
long lasting,
Exactly.
that's why they're more mahal.
Correct.
But like at the time you're like, am I really spending like 4,000 pesos
Yeah.
on this?
Diba?
But then
It's
you
4,000
never need a
pesos
new
for a
one.
water bottle, diba?
So I
Parang
always say
mahal.
maybe
Yeah.
get a neutral color that works,
for everything.
or like
Yeah.
something. It's like a shirt. Like don't get something like with.
I
a lot
also
of
got
prints
some of
and
them
you can
before
use
through like
ones.
Jamba Juice because they have that promo of like
when
collecting
you-
the stickers and then you get a free Hydro Flask.
Correct.
I think I got 3.
Kung Hydro Flask naman, in
Girl, you can
fairness.
sell
Free
that.
from
You
all
can
the-
make a lot of money off.
Yeah, because it's a limited edition
Correct.
Jamba
Oo,
Juice.
diba?
There's a print kasi
Yeah.
at the back.
Okay, next.
Water bottle.
Okay, next is mystery blind boxes.
Oh.
I won't get fooled.
At the time of Labubu, yes, but then like, but
I
splurge,
got it.
aka like I wouldn't buy like the resale.
Oo, I won't rin.
Yeah.
It's
So
ako,
it's crazy,
I'll just
eh.
wait kung kaya ko. So I remember, yung Labubu, oh my God, I waited 2 months. Binili ko siya sa China. From their website pa. And I waited 2 months kasi pre-order. But I just bought 2 and then tapos na.
Like for me, I'd also always make pabila like if someone's abroad
Correct.
or
Yes.
whatever.
Then
and
just
it's
one
like,
Maybe we
or
should go
two.
to the Pop Mart store
Yeah.
in Paris.
No, I'm on
Ayan
a hunt
na.
for something in Pop Mart actually.
Wow.
The
I
Mickey
said-
family. Have
Oh.
you seen that?
Yes.
It's so cute.
Yung
But
may
why is
Mickey
it always
Mini.
sold out? And,
then-
again, I'm not gonna pay
Oh my
resale.
gosh. Dapat
No,
sinabi
those
mo,
are things like
we saw it in Guangzhou with Jazz.
Really?
That's like, me and my sister bought one. Kasi sabi ko, 1 lang.
and you have
One
to be
lang.
okay
Even
with
when
that.
Cute
to
That's,
Hong Kong,
that's how they get you. If you
wala.
don't want, you keep buying until you get the one you want. But
Kaya
you
nga,
have to
no.
know you're buying a mystery
Yes.
blind box.
I went to like 2 Pop Marts in Hong Kong, wala.
Oh my
and then like,
God.
oh my God, so my Lola now is in Italy. She freaking lined up in the Milan store.
Kasi
and it
nga,
was not available.
not
I feel so
available?
bad I made her line up.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Grabe. But, kind of cute kasi. So
It's
fine,
so
stop
cute.
na.
But
So
did
I'm
you
gonna
see
try
the-
in Paris.
Yeah, they even have a Sakai collab.
Parang it's like, it's like not official pala.
It's not official. Like someone made.
Like
Ah.
Pharrell did it or
Pharrell
something.
did like.
It's like
Just a little
$1,400 or
Yeah, I
something
sent
like
it to
that.
Gabby. I'm like, this might be
Oh
up
my
your
gosh,
alley.
It's so cute though.
So
Okay, I wanna
Pharrell
see it.
basically
Sige.
like got an outfit from the brand and like recreated it Labubu style.
Besides, oh my gosh.
Wait, but that's like one thing
Pero
about
OA,
me.
diba?
I will not pay 1 peso over retail of anything.
Oh, same.
I'll never.
Then it's
Resale.
not meant to be
That's why I
unless
don't
you've been
resale
thinking about this thing
anything.
for 10 years and
Correct.
there's no other way. But
Even
like
with like my bags.
No, kasi
I
OA,
will
diba
not.
yun?
again, it's always
OA.
the showing off because
Yeah.
sometimes I feel like when something's more
Correct.
mahal, you can be like, oh, I spent more pa for it. Like it's always like a
Yes.
to prove
Like
something.
I will wait.
But like honestly, like
Same.
I will wait
Ayoko ng
to get
resale.
it retail.
Even if it's like resale ng, di ba, you want a bag na resale, parang for me, tapos times 2 yung price?
Yes.
Parang
Exactly.
no.
No. I
Agree.
can't.
Same.
or I wait till there's a sale. And again, sometimes if you wait for a sale, then you know maybe you don't like it that much because you're not willing
Correct.
to spend
Yeah.
it.
Exactly.
So like if something's like, oh, it's sold out now, there's no sale.
Yeah.
Then you didn't care enough because you
Correct.
would have spent on it if you really wanted.
And you'll feel so bad na parang, oh my God, nag-sale siya.
Then you move on to the next obsession.
Correct.
Like that's I think the problem with our society is that we're people are overly producing
Correct.
things and you're constantly
Yes.
needing and wanting
Wanting to
something.
consume.
Correct.
ano?
Yung blind box, just buy one feeling ko. Kasi kung cute
Or
naman
two.
talaga, or two.
Yeah.
But,
Kasi
but
if you,
that's it,
if you have everything, parang,
like I've seen people buy the
When
whole
they buy
thing.
the whole,
Nasawa
like how many
rin eh.
boxes is in one? I was
6
like, I
ata
wouldn't.
eh.
I don't
Mga
need all the
6.
colors.
Yes
like,
eh.
when I see the when they release the collection, I'm like, I probably only want this and this from
Correct.
it, something like that. Like I never need
For
like the
everything.
whole.
Then parang
thing.
it doesn't feel special when you just have all.
Yeah.
It
Or
loses the
sometimes kasi
whole
it's like,
fun.
know what happens usually, di ba? It will just die down. Tapos ikaw naman, like, the labubo, di ba? Mayroon ako labubo. And then right now, to be honest, yung labubo ko na dyan, nakaupo lang.
Same.
Kasi ayoko na pala siya. Ang laki-laki niya sa bag, nakakainis.
I'm lucky I'm not a trendy like person.
Mm-mm.
Is that
Yo.
the last?
This is the last
Oh my
one.
Okay.
god, why are you laughing? Parang it's like
Parang feeling ko there's something
Yeah.
na. May
Yeah.
laman to.
Alright.
Okay.
Last one is upgrading to the
Oh.
latest phone or gadget
Ay,
as soon
oh my
as it
gosh.
drops.
Ako,
Oh,
I'm
honestly, I
safe.
never
I'm
do
at a
that.
15. I'm
I'm
okay, but the
safe.
camera is horrible.
I'm also 15.
I'm
But
on
I-
a 15
I'm
rin.
like 15, yeah. I'm
But the
on a
camera's so
15.
bad.
It's okay
But no, I
naman
wait.
na.
I wait till
Okay.
Globe gives me one.
Ako,
I think, but
the
2
same.
years after 2 years, it's like
It's gonna...
it glitches. Like you
Yes,
need-
I agree.
So I think,
Yeah.
but because I wait for my plan, I never get a phone when it's brand new.
Correct.
Like or it just came out because I always have to wait
You
till
need
the
to wait.
next year. But like honestly, maybe when I was younger, like it was a little easier to keep track.
Correct.
I don't even know what fucking number iPhone's
See?
on now because I don't
Same.
care
I get
enough.
confused.
Because and it's like the same shit.
Yeah.
Like I'm waiting for it to change like
Correct.
shape.
Feeling ko,
You know?
save, but ito lang siya. I think save. Nag-justify Save, but for example, if it already messes your productivity,
Right. Like it's
then I
lagging
think,
na.
oo, then I think that one, you have to.
Yeah, it
Kasi-
becomes a need.
Yes,
na at that
iba
point.
eh. I remember, ito, Mac ko, it's like 15 or 10 years na siya. Sobrang slow na. And nagtitiis ako kasi parang sabi ko, ano wanna buy a new Mac? It's so expensive. Pero when I upgraded to the new Macs, diba, parang sabi ko, oh my gosh, I should have done this years ago.
Earlier.
Yeah, it
Kasi-
depends. Like with my old
Grabe.
phone, I couldn't edit my reels
See, yun
because
nga
it would
eh.
lag and it would
Exactly.
make me
Crash.
restart.
Oh my
Like
God.
I would cry, like things were, and then I was like, oh, also I
You
need a
to
better
na.
quality camera.
Exactly.
But like, if also like maybe when I was younger, phones and MacBooks used to be a lot cheaper, and
Correct.
now
Yeah.
you're spending. It's like literally
It's
3
so
or 4 times
crazy.
the price.
Exactly.
So it's not like you can just. I remember the MacBook, the white one.
Oh my gosh,
It used to
cute
be. It
yun.
was like 49,000, 50,000.
Ah.
You know,
But
you
syempre the
remember-
value of the money back then rin naman.
No, but still, now it's like
Fine.
what,
Tama naman.
180,000?
Yeah.
Also phones. Phones are
Phones.
crazy now.
Phones are crazy right now.
It's really an arm and a leg. So, like, I don't believe, like, again, I'd rather buy a bag.
Totoo.
Yeah, like my Mac is so old. Like my
Diba?
laptop.
No,
it's
I
so
have to,
old.
like,
I actually
take care
have
of
to
it
change
now.
it now.
Change
Like
it.
I also realized that because I feel like the battery health is not
if
good
it's so
anymore.
slow
No,
na
it's
kasi.
like battery replacement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know mine kasi it's not slow, but the battery, like I'm always needing
And
to
you
charge.
replace the battery na lang.
Yeah, but it's still functioning
Okay
very
pa yun,
well.
But
So
if it's like
I'm
slow
fine.
kasi, na you can't
Mine's
function
8
na, oh
years
my
now.
God. If you can't function, ako replace. If
Yeah.
you get, if it's not yet the M series, yun talaga no.
But
Yeah.
I'm scared I'm gonna
The
just
MCs
get an
talaga game
iPad
changer.
next.
Yeah.
I
So
might get
game
an iPad next because I heard the new iPad.
I never
is
use like
actually-
iPad.
they're
Like
mimicking
to
it
replace
like
your
a MacBook.
laptop.
Because I
But
don't think I'm gonna spend
It will
that
still
much.
not replace a laptop.
But you know,
ah.
I just need it for Flickster, so it's
Okay, fine. If you're gonna edit with a
No, 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 no.
it's
no.
still laptop talaga.
Yeah.
Okay. Yun.
Okay. That's it.
Yeah.
Yay! Oh my god. You know, like you're like, what do we talk about? I'm like, just gonna talk. And like I think this is our longest episode.
Yeah, I
and
think so
didn't even
also.
my
feel
gosh,
I
it.
didn't
haba.
feel it.
Ang dami
And I
kong
feel like there's
sinabi,
so
guys.
many more things to talk about.
Yeah.
But I think we always end by like,
Mhm.
there's always things that you're like, oh shit, I didn't talk about
Yeah,
this.
like
Okay.
shout
Is
out.
there something you're working, just things you're working
Oh.
on, things that you want people to sort of like look forward to, or just
something
like,
to share.
or just like something you're like, oh crap, I like really didn't say
Yeah.
this.
Everything.
Because once we get distracted, like it's
Oh,
game
yeah.
over, you know. So we sometimes like put it at the end, like, oh my god, we
Oh
forgot
yeah,
to
by
say
the way,
this.
yeah.
Feeling ko, by the way, it's really more of like, diba?
Or your parting words, like what's one, like if you want to start getting into like saving and really start
Yes.
thinking about credit cards and all
Correct.
this, like what is like one thing that you really have to, like, or how do you start out? You know.
Feeling ko when you start out either with savings, with doing all of your personal finance, make sure that, di ba, kaya I always say na personal finance is always very personal. Di ba? You make it personal. You don't have to compare yourself with other people. What happens is sometimes when we hear about, oh my God, ang ganda nitong investment na to. Di ba? And then ikaw naman, FOMO ka. Then you're gonna
It could
try
have
it
been
out.
right
Di
place,
ba?
right time.
Then,
It's not gonna
Exactly,
work with everyone.
it might not work for you. Or mali mo na scam ka pa. So that's why take it slow, understand
And
everything
everyone's
first.
scammy pa nowadays. Be
Yes,
careful.
diba? Don't
Even businesses, like
Yeah,
legitimate
exactly.
businesses, are trying to scam consumers.
Exactly. So parang sabi ko, take it slow. Diba? It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to learn personal finance, everything in one day.
Right.
It took me years. Kaya parang sabi ko, but syempre the content and everything I will be putting out will always be there. It's always your guidance. But syempre, remember that your personal finance journey is different from other people.
No, and I think
Yeah.
now that you've gotten bigger, I see the disclaimers, and that's so important because I think people,
Correct.
or just in general, with anything you see online,
Yeah, don't take it so
d-
literally.
don't take it so literally.
Yes.
It's so important because,
Correct.
like,
Context
as we're,
is key.
you know, as we're all
Agreed.
creating
Talaga.
content, I'm doing it in terms of my point of view. I don't know
Yes.
what, unless I know you personally, what your point of view is, what your perspective
Correct.
is. So you really have to like think
yes,
about-
what you want.
Yeah.
the not whatever you're consuming online,
Correct.
and like it's just like
different per person.
Yeah.
Kaya nga parang when people ask me, oh, what's the best cards?
for what.
For what?
What are your
your
needs?
That's a
lifestyle? What you
3-hour
need.
conversation because it really
Kasi it cannot be
depends.
na parang for me, I like Miles. Eh, you might not like Miles, so it cannot be the best card for you.
Some people just want like the 50% off food.
Oh, diba? And then we give
Yeah.
you the 50%.
Yeah.
Who among these
Yeah.
cards are the best?
You
Diba?
know?
Parang ganun siya.
So no, I think that's
Yeah.
so important, and just in general, it's not just. I think yours is specifically because money is involved,
Correct.
but I really think
Even for content creation, right?
Yeah,
It-
you-
Yeah.
it's your journey.
you know, and I just think like there's so many things online. If you don't like or don't relate to what one person is doing, there's so many other
Others.
people. You know, we're not for everyone,
Yes.
and I think that's so important as well.
agree.
Do you have anything else? Or that's honestly really good.
Diba?
That's like
that's one thing that you have to always remember. And I think start early in terms of your investing.
Oh, for sure.
And-
Diba?
no. I think
And
it's nice
savings.
that we now have content creators like you on TikTok, where it's
Oh,
primarily a younger generation. Because I wish when I was back in college,
I know the
I had
same.
things like that
Wala.
because I
And
wasn't.
it also makes
I
like
wasn't
talking about
thinking
money less
long-term.
intimidating.
Correct. Yes.
I wasn't thinking long term, you know, and even if
We were all not thinking.
you're not,
long-term,
you don't even
worry.
have a proper job yet because you're still in school or it's an internship, like you can start thinking about these things now. You can start planning out your life, you know.
No, but what I'm seeing right now, like the Gen Zs, they're more open to it na compared
To talk about it,
yes,
yeah.
And not only that, they're like open
It
to
was
start.
taboo when we were like
Diba, it was too
going.
correct.
Like you
one
don't
time.
talk about it.
Yes, diba? So parang now I'm saying na, oh, they're more open, they understand it na. So parang sabi ko, I'm so happy that it's slowly changing, na parang
Right.
everyone's like, oh, we're going to make sure that we're set for our life
Yeah.
when we grow up, parang ganon. That's
Oh
why.
my
Diba?
God. Guys, you finally learned something. Like,
Grabe to.
don't ask us. We don't have any other like friends that do this. So like, don't ask us for anything else.
Ano ba
This
yan?
is it.
Hindi, no, okay.
No, but honestly, I learned a lot, you know, and it's important, like, especially when you're like earning your own money, you really want to make sure that you're making correct decisions. And that's the power of the internet. You know, people complain like they try to take TikTok down, but I'm like, there's so many different niches and different creators out there that are really, well, if you find the right ones, like spreading good information and you can learn a lot. Like I go straight to different social media apps when I need to learn about something, you know. Like I was on oatmeal talk before. I was on like healthy like salad talk. Like there's really a niche, you know. And so it's nice to like learn in a more fun way, you know, and
Yeah,
like
you have
things
to make it
don't
fun.
have to be so serious all the time. And I think it's important, especially with finances, to sort of make it lighthearted because it is a very hard topic for a lot of
Yeah.
people, you know. So it's fun to just like you can do it in a more chill way. But yeah, I think that's it.
Yay!
Thank you so much, guys.
Thanks
Now
for
we need to have
joining.
Oo nga eh. The last.
The last.
Ano naman, med naman yon. O,
Yeah,
diba?
we can. He's also really funny, guys. He's just not really on social media.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for coming on.
thank you
for
for
taking
having
the
So much
time.
fun with you.
Ay, salamat.
Well, actually, we knew
Yay.
it was gonna be a fun episode.
Yay.
So,
Okay.
I think this is more fun than Jaja.
Lagot
Both the
kayo.
same.
Mamaya.
But we really love your family, and
Oh, thank you.
it is so nice, guys. You have to watch the speech that he did. At Jazz's wedding.
Oh my
because-
gosh.
No, we were at the bar and he's like, I'm so nervous. I'm like, you fucking talk all the time. Like, what the fuck? Like, you got this. I didn't, like, no one would have known that you were so nervous. Like, I felt like you just, like, you were so confident. Like, the jokes were landing. Like, everyone was, like, having so much
Oh my God, thank you.
fun. But my favorite,
What,
JP was like, oh, I finally got a brother. Sorry, Jax. Do you remember that?
Nakulo ka siya. Yeah. Oh,
But
yeah.
no, the wedding was so fun. I always say it was, like, really the best day of my 2025.
Ay.
Jazz was like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "I had too much fun." Like we were sending voice notes. Okay, see, we keep talking. We were sending voice notes. We lost our voice because I was screaming.
Everyone's
the whole
screaming
time.
and then I was like, when I was looking at my shoes, sabi ko, bakit puno-punong cake to?
oh my god,
my friend took off
Yeah.
her shoes now because she was like, "I can't."
It's
do
all
it."
cake.
Yeah,
So,
because Migs dropped like
Jazz dropped her
Jazz
cake.
dropped the cake.
birthday cake.
But it
and
was
it's all
fun.
food coloring pa kasi.
OMG.
Diba?
But anyways, guys, thank you so much. Thank you again for coming on.
Of course. Thanks for having
And
me.
please follow him because y'all gotta save. It's important. But splurge if you want. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Splurge if it's budgeted.
Budgeted.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you guys.
Bye.